Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan.
Samantha's here. How you doing, Samantha?
I'm doing good.
No hoodie today.
Not yet.
Mm-mm.
It'll get cold soon enough.
Yeah. Is that what shirt is that? What is?
This is the maroon BDM.
I don't have that one.
No, really?
There's so many shirts that I don't have, but I probably do have it because last week I told you I didn't have a shirt and then I had it.
Yeah.
It's like I get them and then my wife stores them. How many T-shirts do you think you own?
Well, a regular shirt? Or
just
like
T-shirts.
Tom and Dan shirts.
Tom and Dan shirts.
I got probably 25 Tom and Dan shirts.
I gotta fix something
I've
because
thrown a lot away.
in my closet,
dare you.
I probably have no exaggeration 400 T-shirts. It's out of control.
Just regular shirts.
Everybody, I've got
Big
everybody.
closet.
I've got PFT Media, Semantics, Tom and Dan,
Yeah.
novelty shirts, funny shirts.
Oh, yeah. I've got a drawer of shirts, and every time I look at it, it makes me mad because I'm like, never wear
Yeah.
these. Why do I even have them?
Yeah.
Like, there's too many.
You throw them out.
And I wear the same, 10 T-shirts.
Correct.
And then the rest of the 40 I got, I just look at. And
That's
I'm
what
like,
I do.
Nope, don't need you.
Every day I wear the
Why do I
same
even have you?
shorts, and the same Britney Spears T-shirt
I
every
know.
single day.
You stink.
I do.
It's
My
embarrassing.
hygiene's terrible. I've been cough crazy this morning.
I know.
My eyes are like puffy.
Every morning we cough in each other's
Yeah,
mouths
yeah.
like the program.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that what you do?
Yeah, that's how you stay healthy.
Lay in the traffic.
Yeah. Open your mouth and you spit in it. Hey, we've got guests, everybody, and we
Yes.
just weirded them out.
So Jamie and Alex are here from Blanchard Insurance.
Blanchard.
How you guys doing?
Good. Thanks for having us.
You're right. I do want to yell Blanchard.
Blanchard. It's so fun, man.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
And we've been using Blanchard for all of our event insurance needs. And there's easy
I told you
to
guys
work
this
with.
last time. It makes me feel so much better.
Yeah.
And I love it when he goes, I'm calling Blanchard. I'm like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, protecting our investment. My God.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. And thank you, Blanchard.
It is a weight off your mind going into something prepared and doing it the right way. I'm like, I've never done this before.
I'm your guy. Well, like when people,
always going like, well, if anything happens, we're screwed.
You know who likes insurance? Like, because a lot of people, it's a tough industry. It's hard, and people complain, and you're dealing with humans because, of course, you're going to have like some negativity. I'm your guy, Mr. Anxiety. I love insurance. It's the best. I get the warranty on everything. I get insurance on everything because it makes me feel better. It like de-stresses me a little bit.
I like the gambling aspect of it because it's basically the gambling industry where like you're like they're like, well, I'm gonna you can insure this for this cost based on this probability and statistics. I'm like, I like that. Like gambling.
In poker, I always get it. They're like, you want insurance? I'm
No,
like,
no,
absolutely.
okay, that's different.
I always do it. I'm like, absolutely. Let's take care of ourselves.
Like when the GPS says 5 minutes, you're like, I'll get there in 4.
Yeah.
Well,
I can shave him in his mouth.
he's always been that guy.
Or when the gas gauge is at 1 mile. And
Oh,
you have
yeah.
3 to go to get to the gas station.
I go to the
That's
dashes.
Oh, dashes. Dashes are past zeros.
I play the game.
Have you ever
the game.
gotten past the 0? It goes to
Yes.
dashes. Mine goes
Oh, yeah.
0, dash, double dash, triple dash.
No.
Then skull and crossbones with a turd hat.
And
Yeah.
then the car blows up.
Yeah.
Kaboom. By the way, it goes from 20 to dashes in my car. I was like, wait a minute, where's the count me down,
It's an
bro?
estimate. Count me
I was-
down,
I don't
bro.
even have that. I just have the old school meter.
No.
Yeah. Well, yours doesn't even work. I forgot to tell you.
Yeah.
Don't put gas in your car. It's very dangerous.
Yeah. That is a death
Are you
trap.
driving that?
Yeah.
We need insurance on that.
You should be. Do we have insurance on that? You shouldn't be driving
I
that.
pay insurance.
That's a
No.
novelty.
What?
That's a novelty kid's bed. You're supposed to slide a mattress in the back and put it in your bedroom.
So how you doing, guys?
Good. Yeah, we're doing
good, very
good.
good.
There's a lot of changes in the insurance market, so we're happy to be here.
Yeah. What's
let's
happening
talk
right
about
now?
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's discuss.
Yeah, I'll take the home side, the homeowner's front. Whether you're purchasing a home or you're refinancing, checking your homeowner's premiums, you're going to see a lot of differences in premium. The premiums are starting to increase. They're calling Central Florida the next tri-county, meaning rates are getting higher.
Okay.
So clients should definitely expect their premiums to take some increases over the next few years and be prepared for that.
Gotcha.
So setting expectations, and that's all because of fraud, the roofs, the free roofs, water damage that starts at $30,000, and after the attorney multipliers, it ends up being hundreds of thousands of dollars. So all of that's catching up. So that's on the home front. So we appreciate the BDMs calling, getting their rates checked. It's been a good relationship.
Hell yeah.
So thank you, all of you.
It's got to be our close proximity to Miami, just because a lot of this is causing a lot of these problems.
It's all your
coming to
friends.
Miami.
It's everybody you know bringing it up.
I know. Yeah,
They need to stay down there.
if you said you bought a roof in Miami, people are like, what? You bought a roof?
Nobody
Crazy!
Nobody
Crazy! You paid money?
That's so-
No one buys a roof. It's it's crazy.
I shouldn't even be laughing at that. It's,
People
it's
are
both
getting-
funny.
It's not, but that's the
it's
problem.
True. It's
Yeah,
true.
it runs like it runs rampant. Fraud runs rampant.
If you yell out, "I need a new roof in Miami," there would be 10 guys in your front yard dressed.
It's how you find friends.
Dressed like Pitbull. We're driving.
the next block party.
Yeah, driving like Escalade. They're like, I have a pet tiger at home. You need a new roof? I got you. And like, you're gonna have to. Don't tell anybody anything. Like, when you start off with when the roofer tells you don't tell anybody anything, then you know
It's not a good
you're
sign.
in a horrible
Sign right here. I'll take care
Yeah,
of everything.
That's what it is.
You know,
You're
the little house they put up for the permit, and you walk over to it, you lift the paper up to read it, and it just says, "Don't talk about it."
like, why do you you're getting on my roof and alligator shoes?
Yeah, it's weird.
Or when you didn't have damage before they got on the roof, but somehow now you have damage, and sign right here. We'll take care of everything, and that's actually called assignment of benefits, and that's what the fraud is called. Is when you're assigning.
And you guys
it,
see this all the time.
We see it all the time. We have some carriers that, not us personally, that we have not, been appointed with to do business with, because we try to stay with the A+, AM Best,
Of course,
rated carriers. But there are some going out of business because of it. They couldn't handle the claims. They couldn't cover the losses. Central Florida has about 140% loss ratio right now, which is unprecedented. We haven't seen that before with home insurance. So that's the changes. So, they're asking for inspections. They're inspecting more when they're insuring the property. So things are tightening up a little bit.
And so people just need to know that
they need to expect it. They need to set the expectation and expect it. And when you get your renewal in the mail, it's a good time to check. So call us and review. This has been happening in auto for a while. I think people kind of expected their auto. Alex does all of our autos, so if you've called in and talked to us about auto, you've probably talked to Alex.
Yeah,
auto's been going up for years. It's not really new. I mean, anybody that drives on I-4, you can kind of understand why. You see an accident every 5 minutes, and then everybody's 3 hours late.
Although I did get my first dose of the new kind of, I guess the new I-4 going out towards Disney.
We just missed an exit.
And I got to tell you, it used to be so scary, because you'd come around this one corner. It was like an S-curve, right? Going towards, let's say the theme parks. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you kind of bounce rapidly, really fast. You kind of bounce through this S-curve, and it every time, and I'm a good driver, I'm a safe driver, I like driving, and it rattles me. And they fixed it. It's way better now, man.
The anxiety,
thank God.
The anxiety. I just told him driving here, we missed the Princeton exit because it started 1.6 miles back from the exit.
Yeah.
And they change week to week.
And right, it wasn't like that last week. So
you guys have been getting a decent amount of calls from guys that are wanting to check their auto.
Everybody's insurance in Central Florida has been going up, home and auto, but the home is really unprecedented. We really didn't expect it. Nobody else really saw the claims coming up from Miami. Just literally, they have people going door to door, knocking on it. Hey, we had a windstorm here. We had some hail damage in the neighborhood. You might be able to get a brand new roof. And we've seen a lot. It's literally bankrupted a couple insurance carriers.
Yeah.
And it's literally everybody's getting, like Jamie says, be ready for it. You're going to have an increase. You're going to get dropped, all these other issues. And we'd love to help you out. We still have the good A-rated carriers, and we can get you the good
Better
prices.
to get in front of it, too.
Yes.
Yeah, because if it is happening, you don't have to deal. I remember one time where my insurance had lapsed, or I didn't well, imagine that I didn't know what was happening. And that can be a lot more difficult. Yeah, get in front of it. Preventative maintenance is a big deal, man. So call Blanchard and talk to them before it's it's like D-Day.
Yeah, and a lot of I'm so irresponsible, as you know, that in the past
I disagree. The first thing you did when we were planning our event is you called him up and got insurance, man. I was proud of you.
Yeah, well, now it's as I get older and I have to start doing
you
things
also
properly.
use Samantha's checklist that's on a big piece of poster board in the office.
Yeah. Let's just
eat lunch, check. Go to bathroom, check.
Yeah. And like, maybe 10 years ago, hail happened. Like, oh, yes, new roof. That's a Miami.
Don't tell him that.
Oh,
he's definitely that guy.
But
if I rang your doorbell right now with a fake mustache on and said, no roof, you'd be like, yeah.
Wait, you got alligator shoes? No, you don't? No roof for you. That was stupid. You'll be proud of me when
I am proud of you.
When
man.
I bought my boat, I called Blanchard and I'm like, I'm gonna do the right thing.
Did he really, or is he lying?
No,
I got boat insurance through Blanchard.
Yeah.
Boat insurance?
And
you've never had boat insurance?
And no, I know, of course not.
What the hell is happening? Check his temperature, Corona.
Yeah. Before it was like, if something goes down, I gotta, I have to sink it.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you carried your gun on the boat.
Yeah, to shoot holes into the floor.
Well, and you were transporting it right from the West Coast to here, so.
Oh yeah.
So you needed it.
7 bullets in the revolver, 6 in the bottom, and we know where the last one goes.
Yeah. Just in case that doesn't work. But so I called Blanchard. I was like, let me get it insured. So when I take it back,
nice boat, dude.
Yeah. And luckily I did, because after I got back to my house at like 10 o'clock at night, it became obvious that I had no trailer lights and that I drove the entire way up with no lights whatsoever.
Didn't hear that. That's
new.
That's new, right?
Yeah.
First, I didn't mean to point at you, but I get this guy's withholding evidence over here.
So could have easily been a catastrophe.
Van.
And then I panicked.
Did you tell them that you almost dumped it in a ditch? 30
30
seconds after purchasing?
I was getting nervous telling anybody.
I think they know now. I think they know what to
They
expect
might drop
now.
you now.
Just don't call a claimant later for whatever you did.
No, he saved it. He saved it. But man, 30 seconds into purchase, that he almost lost it.
Then I got severely concerned because the place I'm keeping it, let's just say, I started looking around. I'm like, nope, there's a.
It's behind a barbecue restaurant. It's really weird.
Yeah.
This thing can get stolen.
Talk about the smoker.
Like I don't know if it should be here. I got the cheapest storage, and then so I called Blanchard, like, is my engine covered? And then it is, and everything, so but true story.
Hold on a second.
That's why it's good to have an insurance agent that you can call up at any time so that they can tell you, because what's the point if you don't have the coverage? Like, you could be, you got a good, cheap insurance policy, but if the stuff that's insured is not covered, who cares? It's pointless.
Right.
Then you're wasting
You're
the
paying
money
for nothing.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
paying for a piece of paper that has nothing.
And let's talk about that too, because people have homeowners insurance policies sometimes that don't have the coverage that they think. Like, if
I've been through that.
If something happens in my house, they assume, insurance is a end all be all. It covers everything. They'll give me brand new everything.
I had a really
not the case, right?
I had a really old home, like from 1940 something, and it was extremely difficult to get insurance on it, and it was really kind of picky about what was even handled under it. It was sort of a nightmare for anything that we ever had to get a claim on. It was really, really hard, and unfortunately I didn't have guys like you to call and deal with that sort of thing. But what are other things that people can kind of deal with their homes?
Now it's interesting that it used to be like premiums were based on a lot of different factors. The year of the home, so the older homes would get hit a little harder. The types of electrical panels and plumbing and stuff that you have. Now it's really becoming solely based on roof age, because the roof age is the biggest risk. It's the biggest claim. So the premium. So if the BDMs are out there shopping for a new home, maybe just replace the roof on their home, then that's where the premiums are kind of dictating.
Interesting.
Yeah, what it is. So it is different.
It's a big factor when you're looking at a home. Just check the roof, because it's going to be a big factor in your insurance price.
Yeah, I remember after I purchased, it was the hardest part was going through and making sure that all my pipes are up to what would be considered the Florida standards now. None of them were.
Well, the bank won't give you the loan too. They won't insure.
Yeah, the wind mitigation reports for the roof, and the inspectors will do them for like $75, and they'll come out and they'll tell all the information that we need for the insurance. So definitely recommend getting that. And when it comes to coverage, personal property is one thing that people like to, on paper, cut down. Cuts the premium down probably the most out of everything on the policy, besides the actual coverage. Personal property is anything in your house. You dumped your house upside down, it all falls out.
Yeah,
it can add up.
Yeah.
The standard's 50% of what your coverage is.
Sure.
Yeah. So, but they like to cut that down. So when we review the policies, we always start at the 50% and then come down.
That makes sense. Yeah.
But personal property to me would be the thing that people maybe call or think that they can just go to the store and replace, or are you going to Goodwill and replacing it? Like actual cash value.
Correct.
Right. So if my house burned down, I would be concerned with, can I replace everything that I actually had at the store?
I have an interesting question from our chat room since you're talking about roofs. Dan Paul says, if you have solar on your roof, does a typical policy cover roof and panels, or do you need a rider?
Rider, I mean, is an
endorsement? They're
yeah.
typically excluded.
Unless you specifically get an endorsement that add them on a lot of policies. It's one thing, they're an additional cost. So the roof is going to be one thing and the solar panels were significant.
So two separate entities. Gotcha.
We have carriers that will cover them. It's just you need to make sure. Don't assume that they are covered, or whoever you have. If you just, okay, I added solar panels to my house. Definitely do not assume it.
Yeah.
Give us a call. We'll take a look at your policy for you, and we can get you a carrier that will cover them.
Especially if you added those after you got your insurance policy.
Sure. That's a great question,
and then
Dan Paul.
You probably didn't go back and check your policy.
Because that's solar. I see people popping that stuff up like crazy. You know,
it's one of the next crazes. It's no electric
Some
bill,
carriers don't
solar
like them at
removals.
all because it puts holes in your roof.
Well, I was going to say, I got a buddy of mine who's dealing with something now where the solar company actually came in, put the solar in his home, messed up his roof, just like what you're saying. So it's almost like
leaks, and then
yep.
And then the roofing company's like, well, I'm not.
That's not on me.
That.
Right.
You put this in there.
Correct.
Contractor's problem.
Yeah, it's almost like the way I explained it to my friend, and he didn't really like my analogy, but it was like, it's almost like when you get, like my car, I have a Volkswagen GTI, and it's a super fun car to put aftermarket parts on and make it super fast. But you got to understand, you're going to screw up your warranty if it's a relatively new car by, putting those air intakes and all those different parts on there. You know what I mean? Like, you can do some damage.
Yeah. And
You look like you were going to make fun of me.
No.
I can see it in your eyes.
I got a buddy from Miami he'll get up there.
I know. I can see it in your eyes.
He'll load a t-shirt cannon full of ice and fire that right in there.
I can see it.
He'll fire the ice right in there.
Kabam!
Joking. But anyway, that's why it's good. Have a person that you can ask these questions to. A lot of people have insurance and like, I don't know who to call. Like, I don't even know where I got it. Like
most of my friends don't even know where their policy is. Don't have it stored. Don't have an electronic copy of it in any way, shape, or form. Don't even know what they're paying.
Don't have a
relationship
relationship
with
them.
You don't even really see it because it's in your mortgage pay until you get an increase in your escrow account.
And then you're like, what happened? Well, that's why it's always beneficial. And this is kind of how you and I are finding that it's a lot easier for us to tell our listeners to go to other humans like you guys instead of going on the website and putting in a ticket or any of the get a human on the phone that you can talk to, and that will ease your mind a bit.
Well, like if you're talking to Alex about your policy, or like I deal with Mark from Blanchard about our event insurance all the time.
Call him this morning.
Yeah, calling your agent and then be like, hey, I need this or this. Like I got on it. They've dealt with you before. They're familiar.
It also took you all of 3 seconds to talk to him this morning. It was like literally we called. He's like, hey Tom. It was like
just
it was
knowing
awesome.
someone's working for
really
you
well done.
is great.
And when it comes to claims too, and we just had this conversation this morning with a restoration company that came in to talk to us about water remediation and what their services were, and calling your agent first, asking the questions, do you have coverage? Is your damage going to be up to your deductible? Before calling the company. Once you call the company, you make a claim. A claim is a claim.
Yep.
There you go.
And again, call Blanchard. Give out the information to
407-788-8640, Jamie and Alex. You can ask for us or email us at jamie@blanchardinsurance.com or alex@blanchardinsurance.com, and we'll take care of you. It's been great. Thank you to all the BDMs.
Yep, no
and
problem.
hey,
Thank
if you guys ever you're listening to this, you might be inebriated right now. You may not remember any of that. Email me or Sam. We'll hook you up. We'll get you in touch with them.
Or go to tomanddan.com, click on
because I get a lot of email from people, and I have all their information saved, so we can just one click shoot you over who you need to talk to.
Yeah.
So let's take a little break.
Yep.
We'll come back with more A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan right after this. Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha, our producers here. We're going to jump into some emails, but real quick, I'm doing a lot more video work on our YouTube channel. So in case you don't know, and a lot of people don't, because I realize that we live in a time where you have an endless amount of video, music, games, apps, at your fingertips. You have literally as much entertainment as has ever been available at your fingertips. And the fact that you choose us to listen to at times makes us feel really, really good. And you can go to YouTube, subscribe, get all of our video content there. It's just a replay of our Twitch feed. We're live on Twitch right now, twitch.tv/TomandDanLive. You can even watch replays there, a little behind the scenes, unedited stuff there. We do special shows sometimes. The Friday Free Show, it's uncensored, is on Twitch. But I put all of that on YouTube, so check it out. I think you'll dig it.
And for those of you like me that don't understand technology, once you go to your app store, you download the Twitch app.
Yep.
Then you subscribe. You can search Tom and Dan in Twitch.
Yeah, Tom and Dan Live. Channel. Anything Tom and Dan Live, that's basically going to be us.
And then once you subscribe to that, click on that. Twitch will they'll send an update to your phone when we broadcast, so that if you want to watch us live on Twitch, you'll know exactly when we go on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll give you a little text and say like, hey, they're live.
Yeah.
Pretty fun, man. You can get in there, you can chat, you can hang out. We have a nice little chat community. It's super fun. We think you'll dig it.
Yep. All right, let's do some emails.
All right.
What do we got?
Give me an email jingle, Tom.
Well, I can write you one.
I wanted him to do one on the spot.
Email.
All right. This says urgent
You're going to have to pull that later, and I'm going to make... You've never done that before.
I like that he participated.
He went, email. He did it like I do.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I'd hug you right now, but you're looking a little feverish.
Urgent notice for marijuana users from my Colorado BDM. I live in Colorado, and I partake in our legal weed. There have been some stories in our news lately about people that frequently use marijuana may need up to 3 times the amount of anesthesia that non-users. My wife is a surgical nurse, so I asked her about it. Her response was, yes, if you use weed, you need to tell your anesthesiologist or you're going to have a bad time. She also said that they have a difficult time managing pain post-op. None of the usual narcotics that they give you offer any relief. I thought that one was odd. I had a personal experience with this. I had an impacted wisdom tooth and opted for the sedation method. I did not tell the doctor that I used weed, but I did stop about a week before the procedure. He told me that he gave me a lot of propofol, and I didn't really even notice anything. Thank God the Novocaine worked. Anyway, I know you guys talk about medical marijuana on the show, and I wanted to get this news out to the BDM
Talk about it. We're on it right now.
So that hopefully you can avoid any horrible surgery.
I think that could be dangerous. I don't think I want to tell my anesthesiologist, hey, I smoke weed, so crank it up. No.
I don't know.
No, sir.
I'm getting my wisdom teeth taken out this year. And
just give me the dose for my age, my weight, and height. Yeah. I don't need you dosing it up because, you smoke weed? Let me give you the good.
I don't want to spread misinformation. I have no idea if this is true or not.
I don't believe that.
I don't know. It could be, could not be. Look it up yourself.
I
just ask your
everywhere.
doctor.
Quarantine.
Ask the professional.
And just tell the doctor the truth, whatever they ask you. That probably will do you good, right?
I don't think that's accurate.
It sounds inaccurate, but I don't know. So I have no idea.
Yeah.
I just if the doctor's like, well, do you smoke weed? You tell them like, yes, and how much. If it's useful information to them, good. I wouldn't lie to them, right?
Here, I'll be the doctor. Good is it? Okay, you're going into surgery. Yeah. I'm the doctor.
I don't
Let's
smoke
role
weed.
play.
Okay.
First, Mr. Tom, Mr. Van, I'm in here to do surgery on your shoulder. I'm just going to put an X on your shoulder. If you could tell me what shoulder's been bothering you, sir?
My left shoulder right here.
We're just going to place an X right there.
Okay.
A couple of procedural questions before I am your anesthesiologist. First of all, do you use marijuana?
I do, sir. I have my medical card.
All right. That's it.
Yeah.
Scene.
That's what.
That's all that's going to happen. He's not going to do anything.
Yeah.
Because I don't think legally, because there's no way to gauge that.
What?
There's nothing precise there. It's like, do you use marijuana? Yes, I do.
What does that mean?
It means nothing. If it would be Apple, it would be like then we need to give him like 0.5 more of X to counteract the 0.75.
How would they know that?
No, it's not. No, that's not. That's fake news. Do not do that.
If you're not on it at that time, this guy's saying that it increases your tolerance to anesthesia. That doesn't seem.
They're
correct.
completely different things.
Yeah.
Anesthesia.
THC is not anesthesia.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying like. I love that we live in a time and in society where we can just tell each other things and then we're supposed to just believe it. And I mean, I'm sure the guy is good-hearted in his email, but I just feel like...
But this is what everybody should do. They should be skeptical of everything.
Yeah,
and then
especially stuff that could do harm to yourself.
And then talk to the people that you trust you're getting the information from, and by that, I mean talk to people that believe in science and believe in facts. So just go by science, please.
Oh, wow.
That'll be good. Go by trusted scientists and doctors that are going by scientists.
Yeah, I go
by data that is.
I go emails. And his wife is a nurse, dude.
He said his wife's a nurse. Believe him.
This one says ultimate confidence dad crash. Hey guys and Sam.
Oh, Tom loves these.
I wanted to let some people laugh at my expense because that's what we do here, right?
Yes.
My girlfriend and I wanted to take my 7-year-old son to DeLand and do some shopping last week, so we promised him we would let him ride his bike at the big park near Stetson. However, there was a wedding happening and all of the parking was taken up. I was determined to keep the promise, so with daylight burning, we found another park to take him to. This one had a very small courtyard with a sidewalk that made a square with sharp turns.
I know exactly where he went.
Anyways, I normally ride behind the boy with my skateboard to make sure he doesn't hurt himself, but this time I pulled out my Razor-style scooter I had just acquired at Goodwill for a grand total of $6. The handle cushions were falling off, and the bolt that held the front wheel was loose, so naturally it was absolutely perfect for me.
Yeah, but your wife's a nurse, so I say go for it.
We went around and around the path 1,000 times, and we're wrapping up, and I decided to throw in some razzle-dazzle to impress my boy.
Yep.
I started with some bunny hops and handlebar tricks, which gave me Vanistic ultimate confidence, and then sped up to fly around the corners as fast as I could. Well, you guessed it. On one of those corners, I felt a wheel slide out from under me, and the next thing I knew, I was flying like Superman at warp speed. Being a skateboarder taught me how to catch myself, but this time my thumb took the majority of body weight and it bent backwards further than it ever has before. We got back to the car where I used Wendy's napkins to stop the bleeding from my knees, and I decided to play real man and continue shopping. An hour later, my thumb was swollen so much that I couldn't bend it. We went up to urgent care where my son snitched on me faster than the tattoo face mumble rapper. It turns out I broke my thumb. How embarrassing. I wore a splint on my 35th birthday because I crashed my kid's scooter. Now I can't play guitar or Xbox for the next several weeks, and everything I do is muddled with shame. This week, SFT stands for stupid effing thumb. Anyways, I'll see everyone at the 10-year anniversary. Wow, this is old.
Yeah. We'll see you at the 10-year.
Yeah, we'll see you.
I like the Wendy's napkins on the knees.
Okay.
That would definitely happen, yeah.
That's a good choice.
Also, I believe
I like the dad that always thinks he still got it.
No, yeah.
No, we all do. We all do. There's no such thing as a dad that doesn't think he still got it.
Also,
I don't believe so.
No?
Like
I've never seen one.
You have a time in your life that you're fine with falling, right?
Doesn't do too much damage.
So like you like my kids fall on the floor all the time.
Like my daughter will. I know your boys do this move. Tell me if your boys do this move. Even on like tile and even on like planks, whatever, vinyl, whatever, not carpet. They will jump up in the air and then land directly on their knees.
Yeah,
like doing a thing, like a dance or a character or something, right? They can just fall on their knees.
Mm-hmm.
If I
from
jumped,
standing to fall,
right? If I jumped right there and landed on my knees, I'd be and they turn black, and I'd be screaming,
"Dad, kill him!"
Yeah, I am covered in bruises from Tank America laser tag.
No, yeah,
I'm still in pain.
That's a great commercial for them.
No, I'm just saying, you barely
you're not
an hour of activity,
you're not
running back and forth, holding this object.
It's hard, man.
And so you start off,
and I'm slamming on the ground and sliding across, and
you fall crazy as a kid. Then your falling slowly tapers off, but in your teens and 20s, you're still cool with falling. Like you could fall,
but you know what happens?
Skiing,
your
fall.
30s. And I feel like 30 to 40, you don't fall one time, not even one time. But then you hit 40. And you fall again, and it hurts.
Well, it's what happens is when you do fall, you're like, that was odd. I fell very awkwardly, and it seemed like my reflexes weren't like.
You're also fatter. That weight is.
Yeah. So then you're like, that was an awkward fall, and then fast forward 50 years, you fall and die. You break your legs, your hips.
Like not even 2 months ago, I was riding that electric skateboard with Maisie because I ride it all the time, like behind her bike, like this guy. Yeah. And I hit one of those. I don't even know what they are. You know those little, like it looks like a pine cone, but it's not a pine cone. It looks like a cross between a pine cone and a bunch of tiny bananas. It's green. and it's got a stem on the end of it.
Yeah. I don't know what the hell.
I don't know. It looks like it looks like Robinson Crusoe's light bulb or something. You know, like it's just it's a garbage plant, and they're hard. And I hit one of those, and it lodged under the wheel, and I went, yay! And then boom, right on the concrete. Yeah. Maisie was laughing, but I landed on my side. And I was like, I'm dead. Like when I hit, it was just like so much dead weight. It was just like, boom.
Yeah, you have no like reflexes.
Yeah, there was no bounce. There was no fluidity. There, everything was just very, very like hard and cumbersome.
Like when you watch the People Are Awesome videos and you see the parkour guy and he's jumping from
there's a gracefulness there.
Some parking garage and he lands and he's able to absorb the impact and roll out of it.
Use his momentum to roll.
That's pretty impressive. No way anybody in their late 30s or 40s without an insane amount of practice can even. I remember being able to jump off a roof in my 20s and land in my front yard and roll out of it. I mean, it's not that tall. 10, 12 feet or
I've
whatever.
I've jumped off my roof and rolled. Yeah.
Could you imagine? I would never even
attempt it.
I landed so stiff that when I landed and then I slid. I did that move where it's like, and I'm just like,
and you get worse and worse at falling. Actually, it would probably be advantageous to your like longevity of your
falling
life
classes
if you kept up learning to fall. Like,
yep. Old people wouldn't break their hips if they knew how to fall.
Yeah, because people.
You're onto something, Fallber.
Oh yeah,
I'll go in on this one.
Fallber.
How does it work?
It's like Uber, but it's for old people. It's called Fallber. We have a group of technicians and parkour experts that will come to your house,
teach you how to fall,
and you'll take the course. You take the falling course from Fallber, and we will teach you. And by doing that, you're extending your life.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Well, you got to start out early. I don't think you can teach
early?
Your Meemaw how to fall when she's in her 70s.
You got to start in your we don't take anybody older than 55.
Yeah. And then you
take them younger.
Well,
yeah.
I'll start training
can
once
I start
a week.
a class this week?
I will start
too young.
Yeah. Well, I already have a younger. You can be in my younger class. I only teach 21-year-old girls. Though.
Oh, but I'm too old for that one.
And
what?
You don't want to fall on the ground right now. Why don't you try falling on me a couple of times? I don't want you to get hurt.
I'll be the impact.
So you could be in that class, but you'll be the first. Okay, I'm going to lay here. We're not going to start out with the concrete. That's an advanced move. Samantha, I'm going to need you to fall now, like flat. Fall right on me. Fall on me hard. And when you fall, you want to release some gas. You want to make a moaning sound when you fall.
Get the plan. Get
the plan.
Yeah, falling hard to do when you get older. Yeah.
It is hard.
You learn how to fall.
When's the last time you fell, Sam?
Probably at Tank America.
Yeah.
But purposely though, like dropping to my knees or something.
The last time I saw you fall was when you were playing Can Jam with Jimmy.
Stiff. That's what it taught me. I was like, wow, that was a stiff fall.
Well, I thought he was gonna fall when he did the combine.
He's fast. He's fast, but he's only fast. No, he's stiff fast. So he was catching the frisbee for Can Jam, and he caught it because he's fast, But he couldn't you couldn't get out of the.
I was also like 40 pounds heavier.
You were, and then you just
fat and stiff.
You just
bad way to
rolled
be.
backwards. It just kept rolling.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Well, it was like when I hit, it was like, Kang! I was like, wow, I shook my molars. I was like, I should have
shook my. It's rattling your teeth.
I should have absorbed some of the impact for whatever reason. Just my I felt like a corpse.
You ever do that move where you jump and you just land stiff-legged?
I noticed that when I jumped out of the back of my truck. I used to do it all the time where I jump off my tailgate. I don't want to do the old man get on my ass and then scoot off. Then I just jump off and then I'm like, I shook my molars again. I'm like, I'm not absorbing them with my knees like a piston.
Yeah, it's just
stiff little bones.
I have to get out of
threw a muffin onto the floor with 2 toothpicks at the bottom, and it jabbed it. It was like
the toothpicks just straight into the muffin.
It jabbed the toothpicks into my muffin.
When I get in and out of your truck or anybody's truck, if I'm helping you guys unload, you guys must laugh because I do look like a toddler getting on and off a couch. Like, I have to do that move where I crawl and I slide on my belly up, and then when I go to get down, I have to do that thing where my feet are hanging off.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah.
I'm not a man. Next email.
Yeah.
Okay. We got a mail-on-mail story.
Ooh.
Hey, gang, I just wanted to share an embarrassing story with you guys. I was shame eating my chicken McNuggies in my car at work the other day listening to an old Friday Free show. Right as the intro to Mail-on-Mail started and the voice says, "Hey, guys," a guy that works upstairs came walking by and past my window right up until it started giving me options for guys looking for girls, etc., and he got into his car.
Oh, you mean this one? I think I can play the beginning of it. This is what it sounds like.
Hey guys.
There you
That's
go. That's
it?
about all I can play you.
It says he kind of had a weird look on his face, but I thought, well, the subject matter isn't for everyone. Then I realized that I think he actually thought that I was calling a phone sex line.
It does kind of sound like speakerphone.
And I just
Well,
had
that's
to
what it
laugh
is.
at that one. I guess I need to make sure my radio is at a reasonable level when I'm at work. Anyway, love the show.
That's happened to a lot of our listeners where they've been put in bad situations because of our audio, and I like it.
Yeah.
And it's your
Ruin your
fault.
lives.
You know what you were getting into.
Yeah, I mean, it comes on in your pocket, and your Meemaw hears it. Should be all right.
Yeah.
Should be all right.
Or it starts playing when you get in your car.
That happens to you, right?
Yeah. But me, it's either only the two tracks that I have on my phone are Mitch Hedberg's live album and Eminem's last album. I have no
wow.
idea why.
Staying current.
Wait,
And
the recent one that just came out?
Yeah.
Huh.
And
Wow.
and I don't know if it just came out or the last year.
Which one, Kamikaze?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that was
That's
like
all-
last year.
okay.
Yeah, there's a new one that
So-
came out like
yeah.
a month ago.
And so it just cycles between Mitch Hedberg and that, and I
That
don't
is
know.
an interesting combination.
But
Yeah.
I don't know how to stop it because and just when I start driving, like all of a sudden it'll pop up, and then I'm like.
I'm glad Apple fixed it used to be a problem that, like,
With
if I was
YouTube?
watching porno.
Oh.
And then you just, like, because when you're done, you stop it and then you just swipe it down. Because I'm like, nobody's going to look at my. But then you'd get in your car and
it'll
you'd,
start playing
you'd,
again.
Like, start
No,
your
that's
car,
happened to me.
And I'm like, oh, God.
Yeah, that's happened to me. So I don't know if they didn't stop it.
It doesn't happen to me anymore.
No?
Yeah.
Well, you must have changed the setting or something. Whatever the last thing that was playing on my phone, Bluetooth.
Oh, will play?
Will play.
Oh, yeah,
So
you poor man.
if it's a video or
Turn the Bluetooth off.
Well, then.
You can't use the Bluetooth in your car.
Well, yeah. Well, I could turn it off. And like, who remembers to turn it off when they get?
Me, I do.
Oh, you turned your Bluetooth off?
Yeah.
Oh, I never turn anything off. I
No.
just let it. It's just pushing
Yeah, who
Bluetooth,
knows?
red tooth, green tooth.
Yeah.
I got it all. It's
Everything's
just-
on.
Yeah.
Everything.
I looked the other day. My phone was red hot in my pocket. It was a hotspot. I didn't even know I could do that. Apparently, I was like a web, like, what do you call it? I was a hotspot for everybody in the community.
Did you see the video of the guy his phone blew up in his pocket?
Yeah,
He's at the-
blew his pants off.
What?
He
You haven't seen that?
and then he
No.
scrambled to get his pants off because it was red hot sparking.
So someone's just videotaping while this is happening?
It was like a security camera.
Ah, gotcha.
They were at like the DMV or something. It was like in South America or whatever. But he's just sitting there and it's like, boom! and then his phone is red hot and then it's in his pants and it's burning his legs. So he jumps up and then dances out of his pants. He's trying because it's burning. So that's pretty funny.
Is it?
Yeah.
I can't find it.
It is funny because the guy is freaking out when you got a hot fire in your pants and you're trying to get them off. You are panicked. And,
Here it is. I got it. Here's a video.
what-
The man dances out of his pants.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
So he's there standing there and then it blows up. Boom! And then he's like, and then, so he's dancing out of his pants fast.
And all the security
All the
people
security
are
are
they're
laughing.
laughing at him.
It's sitting there. It's in the corner, red hot.
Well, I hope he's okay.
You got an old galaxy note who blew up in your pants and you do that move where you're like go and you try to shuffle your feet.
You taking
to
your
get
pants
your
off like a
pants-
little kid that's trying to take a bath.
Yeah,
Like my
yeah.
daughter does it. Like she pulls her pants out, then she dances out of them, like
Yeah,
kicking them. You're kicking them, and you got flappy legs.
Yeah, that's another. Like when some dumb teen tries to mimic Jackass and lights his sweatpants on fire and then has to get out of them real quick because they're burning his legs up
Oh,
good. Getting out of your pants fast is always funny. Even though if you're getting horribly burned.
Who do you think here can get out of their pants faster? The fastest. I think I'm the fastest. at getting out of my pants.
We got the shortest legs, so that helps.
That does shave some seconds off.
That is my secret.
Samantha's got tall legs, so just by pure science,
they're long.
Yeah. She has
it
to
takes her 3
long.
hours.
All legs.
It takes me 3 hours to walk to the end of Samantha's legs.
Yeah. So you got tiny. You got. And
Like my wife called me. I'm like, hold on, I got to tell Samantha something. I'm right at her calves. I'll call you back. I just keep walking.
So you're the shortest. Samantha's the longest. There it is.
Yeah.
Me and Butler.
But I don't think Butler could get his pants off. I think Butler's wife has to dress him every morning like a doll.
What, you got tiny stick legs, Butler?
No,
He does have
he's
skinny
in good
legs.
shape.
Nah, but he's got stick legs like
And he
I
wears
got.
pants with cuffs at the bottom.
Do I have
so that's
stick
gonna
legs?
be harder to pull
No,
off.
I have kind of like the M-word legs. Right?
Yeah. You
Yeah.
got M-word legs a little bit.
Yeah. M. I'm gonna make sure everybody knows.
We got a
M.
big badonk ass.
Yeah, I do.
And then like some thick
They
turkey
tell me
legs.
they tell me I got a body like a black girl.
I have a.
Who told you
No,
that?
somebody told my wife that, and she was like, "Yes!" And she was like, "That's awesome." She was like, "That's the best compliment I've ever received."
My thighs
big badonk.
are as thick as my ankles. Just,
What?
but they're all skinny. It's skinny sticks.
Looks like
It's horrible.
The
looks
guy
like
from Despicable Me. What's
got-
his name?
Yeah.
Your legs look
I
like
have the body like goddamn
Gru.
that monster. Whatever that monster's name is.
Hey, and what? Like your kids kind of look like minions.
your legs look like 5 Coke cans just taped together like a wizard staff.
Goddamn flamingo. Anyway.
Ooh, we should have a shirt with Tom as a flamingo.
But it needs a
Have you seen
bigger
the
upper
show
half.
Tots?
Pink.
Shout out to Tots with Ross, the
No.
Orlando talk show with Ross McCoy. Have you seen the cartoon show Tots?
No.
You haven't seen Tots?
No.
The 2 main characters are you and I. It's a flamingo and a penguin.
Oh, really?
And they deliver babies all across the globe.
All right.
Yeah.
Just like us.
I do the napping, and like the one guy's like, I do the clapping, the other guy's, I do the flapping. They're just like they're.
I'm more of a flapper. I'll take that.
I'm more of a rapper.
Oh, okay. We gotta get out of here.
Is this the end of the show?
No.
No, we got another segment.
Ah!
God!
Well,
No!
halfway through.
No! All right. We'll be back with more Corporate Time. Welcome back to Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Guess who's here, buddy? You ready?
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
Perfect.
I don't know why I make me laugh every time.
It's great.
Who's here?
Who's here, everybody? It's Jon Busdeker.
Hey.
You are the real life Ned Flanders.
Idly ho.
It's something like that.
With a badge now.
Yeah, I know. And now you, I remember at first you'd leave it in your car.
Nope.
Then you
Yeah.
leave it in the lobby. Now
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
around your neck.
Flaunting.
No, he had to take it off when
I
he's
took
in
it
here.
off.
Oh,
Next
yeah,
time
yeah.
I come in, I'm wearing it. I'm
Uh,
busting in here wearing it.
Yeah. Kick the
don't
door
bust
in.
it here.
Yeah, don't bust in here like around 5 o'clock.
yeah.
You're gonna see some things you don't want to see.
Yeah.
I that's the
You
time.
can't turn the blind eye.
Let's just say that's the time I like to clean my service revolver.
Yeah. You'll be forced by the hand of justice.
Yeah.
To take us into
and if
custody.
you draw down on me, I will be forced to release.
yeah. So
He's like, I don't. This is why I don't come in.
I know.
This is why I don't come in.
I
What have you
don't,
been
tell
up
my,
to?
I don't tell my bosses that I'm
I
here.
have missed the hell out of you, dude.
I miss you too.
How you been?
Good.
You look good.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
I've been watching some of your videos.
Thank you.
Online.
I think your videos are better now that you're not full time videoing than they've ever been.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a lot of practice.
No, I mean your what is it? Orlando 6?
60.
Orlando
well, that's-
60s?
Yeah.
Those are great.
Yeah.
I forgot
I
about
hadn't
those.
done one in a long
I
time.
know, and then when you put one up, it went crazy.
Yeah, it's done very, very well. It was a video I did on a barbecue guy who's in a gas station.
And we had some BDMs that knew the guy.
Yeah.
So it started like kind of popping off. And man, anytime somebody's going to suggest a new barbecue restaurant to me, I try them all.
How many views did that get?
That one has about 60,000.
Whoa!
right now. Yeah.
Dude, that's worth some money. You're
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
it all wrong.
Or at least,
Yeah.
barbecue for life.
yeah.
or
Can you throw a Tom and Dan shirt on?
All right, no, I can try. I
All
can
right.
try. I probably will get a complimentary meal there at some point.
You should.
In my mind, I want you to totally sell out, and then your next door later, they're like,
I'm ready to. I'm ready.
I found this this quaint little barbecue restaurant. It's called Sunay. Just trying to corporate. You're wearing.
You know who was running that
the
scam
CEO
for a
is
while?
shaking their hand.
And look, I call them like I see them, but they were brilliant. Were our buddies Brunch Bros.
No, yeah.
Like, how can we get free brunch and do awesome videos every single week?
Yeah, but they weren't getting
brilliant
because
you get fed. You get fed.
You know
I know
how
a
much
podcast that does that too.
We get fed all the
fed.
time on Bungalow or in the bus. They invite us to their restaurants, and, and we go there and record, and we get fed.
But you know how much, like, if you went to a big corporate, like, marketing company and be like, I'll make your video profiling your restaurant chain, 60,000 hits. They'll be like,
Well,
what do you want? Like, they'll pay.
Here's the problem:
8 to 10 grand for
let
that.
me tell you the problem with that, though. The reason it gets that many is because it's different, unique. You don't see it all the time.
Yeah.
If I do it at Sunny,
Yeah.
everyone's gonna be like, "I've seen Sunny."
That's the GD problem.
you gotta-
That's
and then
Sunday.
and the people that are unique and fun and different, they don't have 10,000 grand to send me.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
that's true.
It's a tough one, but I like doing them. I like this place.
We got to
is
figure out
over-
a way to trick the system.
What's it called? Like the name of the barbecue?
It's called Getting Messy
Getting Messy
Barbecue. It's in a gas station, a Sitco gas station.
I like how all barbecue restaurants have like a Getting Messy, a porky, sticky fingers.
and it's
Yeah.
their logo is a pig eating ribs.
Yeah.
Of course.
Nothing more better.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's always them eating
Yeah.
themselves or dancing in a fire.
Or they have sunglasses on with thumbs up.
it's very
What?
disrespectful.
So hot because you're burning me. I'll put these glasses on. I'm so cool.
But yeah, it's
You
not
know, I
too
did
far.
that. I worked at Porky's Barbecue with Steve for 1 week. Not very good.
Did he
because
fire you?
Well, I kept putting sunglasses on the whole hogs, and they would just melt into and then stink and burning plastic. It was a mess.
Blue.
Yeah, blue flame. That's bad. That's bad.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing slow and low. It was a white hot plastic fire.
Yeah, but it's not too far from where we are right now. Aloma and Hall Road is the Sitco gas station. So
I
check it
miss
out.
a good gas station place to eat.
Yeah.
You know, I remember when there's if you're doing like the Venn diagram, if you're maybe a timeline is a better idea. If you're doing like a timeline of like the Subway restaurants, you know, they started. I remember when they first rolled out, I was like really, really like excited for Subway, and then my Subway it started to wane a little bit. But then when they put Subways in gas stations, I was like, yeah. And then they started to wane again, and then Jared, and then
Here's
all done for me.
Here's what I don't trust: like an immaculate, like corporately clean, brand new barbecue place. Like I need my barbecue place to be a little dusty.
I need some wood. I need some wood.
I need some wood, some dusty wood.
I need like stools that have pigtails painted on.
Yeah.
So his smoker is like 50 feet from where the gas pumps are.
Oh,
outside.
I like that.
Yeah, and he's out there doing the flames with the wood and carrying the barbecue in. It's
I
good
went
stuff.
out. Squirt me some diesel. Put a couple squirts. All right.
It's good stuff.
Don't
though.
eat that for 20 minutes.
Let it burn off.
Gotta burn off the. I don't know what it is.
So let's switch gears to your main job.
The one that actually pays me.
Yeah.
He's a storyteller.
Which
Never get made fun of for that time around the sheriff's office.
so
Every day, you gonna tell us a story?
Oh, did they do that?
Oh, every single day I get that.
Hey, look, Rumpelstiltskin is there. Hey, everybody, it's Grimm's Fairy Tales. Oh, what happened this time?
I don't
You been
really
out
have a-
running in the woods with the fairies and Pooh Bear, Christopher Robin?
I don't really have a good comeback either.
I can help you.
Okay.
I'll
all
help
right.
you. You have to say things like, at least I can read. At least I've never misplaced my service revolver. Remember when you did that? Remember that?
at least I have all my back teeth. That's a good one. A lot of only the front.
When I come home from work, I don't kick the dog around. You do.
So one of your recent videos, I did watch.
Oh, the whole thing?
Well, not the whole thing. I never make it all the way.
He can't
through.
tell a lie, but he can't give a compliment either.
I make sure to make it fast the first commercial, which gives YouTube the thing. And,
all right. You only got to watch 3 seconds on Facebook for it to be a view.
Oh, okay, yeah. Then it
Yeah.
says, "Do you want to continue?" I'm like, "Yes." I'll give it.
Here's a fun fact in podcasting now. To actually count, it has to roll at least a minute.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
It has to count as an actual download.
Gotcha.
So,
Yep.
and the recent one I watched
Crazy.
was about Disney Springs and the.
He said it right. He said it right.
What do you normally
He
say?
says Disney.
Oh.
It's 3
Disney
syllables.
Springs instead of Disney Springs.
Oh, yeah, it's an extra
I'm
letter.
getting better. I'm
You
learning.
are.
I'm learning.
Yeah, you are learning.
So
You were washing your hands earlier to the ABCs.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
That's all
Do
I
your
got.
thumbs. You got to do your thumbs.
So the video I watched was about a police officer that drives around a police issue golf cart.
Yes.
Oh, you were
Which-
probably really jealous.
It's to me that's what I want. I want the golf cart. Like,
Novelty cop.
Yeah. It's
Excuse me, ma'am. Do you know how fast your loofah was going?
and this
Don't
person.
they put those on the top of the golf cart?
Yeah. In the villages, I bet they probably have police golf carts in the villages too, right?
I don't
I
know.
think
So I asked the company that makes them, and they do make golf carts. It's actually a transporter. I learned it's not a golf cart.
Oh yeah. Well, because they're not playing golf.
Yeah. So Club Car is the manufacturer, and apparently they do make specialty vehicles like this, but there's not that many that I don't think across the United States.
And so this guy is just in charge of.
He's one.
Disney
He's
Springs. Okay.
one of many that can drive. There's a whole substation out there that they patrol Disney area, and their station is inside of one of them. One of their offices inside the parking deck, the Orange Garage, and that's where they have all their equipment. But yeah, he's one of the people that can drive the golf cart around Disney property and Disney Springs.
And I thought Disney World has their own police officers that they work in
I don't think they
conjunction
do.
with.
They have their own fire
They
station.
have their own fire,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
they don't have their own police department.
They probably have their own security. but
yes,
not
they have their
police,
own
though,
security, but
And they hire police
yeah,
to
to
stand
do-
at some of the security as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
They
I don't
do
think it would
But
be
it's
kind of
not their
cruel if they had their own.
I thought they always
But then
did.
it's like then it
myth.
becomes like weird what their jurisdiction or what they couldn't do to the order of the law, right?
Oh, it's like
they-
university cops, like there's.
But I think they're still
fully-
actual cops.
they are. No,
Yeah.
UCF has their own police department, and their job is to patrol UCF. But anything around UCF,
He's coming out of my mouth. I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm gonna have to cut your bikini top off. Wyatt, just standing here.
Resisting arrest. I see.
Are you talking back to me?
So
Give me my dildo taser.
did you get to ride in the
oh
golf
yeah,
cart
oh
with
yeah, I rode all around.
exciting
it.
time for Busdeker.
Yeah, so they've actually had that cart for like 5 years or so, but nobody's really ever done anything on it. And so I went out and I rode along, and it's really not. It's not used to like catch bad guys or anything.
Yeah.
Is there
I
a
mean,
cage in the back?
No. What they really use it for is like if veterans are on property and they need assistance, they'll take them places.
Oh, we got an old man that fell down. Get the special
Hey,
card.
you needed that at Fort Wilderness.
No, yeah. The old man on a bike.
Tom watched a lady trying to kill an old man by teaching him how to ride a bike at like 80 years old.
Really?
Yeah,
There's also some parts at Disney Springs where you really can't get a patrol car, and so it's just easier to get a golf cart around. And they have golf courses out there, so if there's ever an incident on a golf course, you could get out there.
What's
and
the
not tear
Art Smith restaurant out there?
Yeah,
Homecoming.
Homecoming. Yeah.
So
We got a fat lady at Homecoming. She's down. Get in the cart.
so this is
Slipped on some fried chicken grease.
so all in all, a slow story week from the whole Busdeker.
Say that all you
no,
will,
no
man.
cars
It
flipping
is-
over.
He had fun.
It is. I had fun. I was outside. The guy who drives it around, he's like, I got the best job
Yeah,
ever.
dude.
I get
I'm
to
sure
wear-
there's not much he has to do.
Oh, well, I mean, he does other stuff. Like I said, he doesn't just drive the golf cart around. But that video has like 50, 60,000 views, too.
Well, the car flipped over. That's got to
That one has like almost 3.5, 4 million.
That's what happens when you get
Wow.
flipped over a car. Then, hey, easy job, golf cart. Then let's move on to the next one, which I have no idea about, but I want to find out more. Is about being a reserve police officer. I've only known. I only thought this existed in The Office with Dwight Schrute.
I only thought this was like in like
small towns.
Andy
No.
of Mayberry or like Andy
Yeah.
Griffith's show when you could deputize
It's kind of like
you deputize Floyd the barber and Gomer Pyle because the bank robbers broke out of the Mount Plymouth jail,
and
they came
more
down to visit Mayberry, and they need a couple men on the ground.
They need backup.
Yeah,
no, it's totally. they're so we have a reserve unit at the sheriff's office. A lot of big departments have reserve officers, but we have one at the sheriff's office where. If you go through the training, you can become a reserve officer, and these are volunteers.
I'm your man.
They volunteer their time. You're required to work, I think, a 12-hour shift a month, at least one, and you have to do some other parts to do this job. You can't just show up.
What do I got to do?
So you got to go through training, which is a 4 or 5 month academy.
Okay.
Which can take a lot of time.
Can I do it on the weekends like a motorcycle course at Harley Davidson?
It's not. No, you really do got to sort of fully commit to it. Yeah. But a lot of times what it is, it's people that have been deputies and officers for a long time. They've retired, but they still want to keep their certifications. Or it's people that have regular jobs that can have a little bit of extra time that they want to do this. So
what about overzealous gun collectors that own Army Navy stores and have extreme right-wing positions?
I don't think they would get through all the back because you got to still go through all the background checks, all that.
You got to take the lie detector?
Everything.
Oh.
It's just like being you are.
What about my medical marijuana?
No.
You
have the same duties as a regular officer, a regular deputy. You just don't. You just volunteer your time. So, for instance, one guy.
What about my warrants? Is that going to stop it?
Could me and Caesar, my dog, be a canine unit on a golf cart?
I don't think so.
But what if my warrant is for Arizona? Does that fly? Because
I think they would figure it out. I think they'd figure it out.
The strangest part's for Arizona jeans from Jason Penney. Really, he stole 4 pairs. Had to have the purple ones. He was going through a crazy cross colors phase.
But they assist our other deputies who are working. Like one of the guys, he works at Winter Park High School. He's a dean of students over there. He thought it'd be an interesting thing to do. He always wanted to do it, so he went through the academy, and now he works once a month.
I'm gonna do it here. I've got my mom's golf cart.
Yeah.
We'll get it wrapped.
Yeah. Full
Orange County,
Orange
County full lights, PA system, and I want to I want a gun mounted on the top that you can stand in the back and blow 30 cal. And then Caesar the dog's my canine.
Okay,
he'll be a canine unit.
Yeah.
And I'll drive. You're my gunner. Caesar rides shotgun. I'm gonna lock down. You're not gonna run a stop sign in Baldwin anymore. I'll throw 100 holes in your Tesla.
Maybe you'll just be the Baldwin Park police.
That's what I want to be.
Okay. Yeah. I know that one time when that one guy cut you off, you got
BPPD.
You got upset when you were on your scooter.
I did.
Yeah.
Tonight on Baldwin Park PD.
The real police are after us. Shoot them.
Shoot everyone.
I think this is not change things. I think that's not going to go well.
Head for the dog park. I can't. The batteries are dead on golf cart. I'm killing Caesar. I don't want him to see this. I don't want you to see your dad die like this. Give me my first baby.
I can't point the goddamn gun at you.
I'm going to stand in front of it. Shoot me and push me into Lake Baldwin. It's not even a lake. It's in a bomb hole.
All right. So when you become
always looking for people,
and you have the same
everything
deal of cop has.
Yeah.
You can arrest people.
Whatever. Everything. You have the same job.
Do I get free soda out of the water cup at Subway now?
Oh yeah, do I get discounts at Chipotle?
Every cop I know walks in and they go water cup, water. Yeah, I think the water cup. Kid gets Pepsi, he drinks it. I'm like, dude, just buy a blanket soda. And then I go to Sonny's Barbecue, or excuse me, Sonny's, and I put my put my hood up on my GTI. I gotta cool this engine. I've been doing high speed chases all morning. This thing's red hot, like my prostate.
So I don't.
Am I right? Get the brisket.
Should you get the same exact? I feel
there should be some limitations.
There should be some difference, right?
No, they go through all the
same.
They go through all the training.
Like you're a cop now, Tom. All right, I'll see you later.
I feel like I know I could get. I think I could get through everything, but I feel like once Busdeker or whomever's Busdeker's boss is, Sheriff Mina, we saw him in the parade.
Yeah.
I called the parade.
Which parade?
The Winter Park St. Patrick's Day. They did it on the 1st.
There. He was
yeah,
there.
and I called him as he was going through. Now,
we called him.
Finally...
We called, and, that maybe they did it way too early. Turns out probably only St. Patrick's Day parade.
That's true.
I mean, you got to God bless the old people. They're like, we got to get a jump on this. Going on the 1st.
We're like, we're
too early. Why'd you do that?
Well,
we're like, oh, there
old people have time anxiety, so they did it on the 1st because they did. We only have a month, but they did it and they did it right.
Right.
But anyway, we saw
Next
him.
up, Christmas parade.
As soon as Mina pins my badge on me, I feel like I would be drunk with power.
Oh yeah. 100%.
I feel like I go crazy.
Yeah. Of course.
First thing I do is I'd walk in there and start pushing things over.
Even if Busdeker just gave me his badge, I'd go crazy. I'd immediately go outside and start stopping people like Grand Theft Auto.
I told
and
you.
Throw them out of the car, get in, run them over.
I don't wear my badge out and about.
Well, you walked
should.
in with it.
No, because people ask you crazy questions.
Well, only
They
wear
wa-
it when you go into a business that gives you free stuff or discounts.
All right. But
Take
no,
advantage of
I've
it.
been to places where I forget that I have it on, and then people want to stop me and ask me questions, and I have to
I
explain to
never
them.
go up to a cop and ask questions
Yeah,
like
yeah,
out in
yeah.
the public.
I just say,
I'm like,
I-
go get the cop.
yeah,
I have
I
to
back
tell
away.
them.
I'm scared.
I ask a lot of cop questions.
Like what?
When I say, I'm like, why are you so lame? Do something. Sovereign citizen. Sovereign citizen.
12.
He's a guy on Facebook
Yeah.
that gets tased. And I didn't do
I
anything.
know my rights.
You insulted him
Statute.
for 15 minutes, then you didn't comply, and then they tased you. What didn't you? Of course you did.
You
do something.
cannot do anything to me. Statute 715 of the Penal Code of the Galactic.
You're like, you're tased. And you know what? I laugh every time they get tased. I'm like, you deserve it every single bit. of it.
My favorite is when they don't roll the window down and they start yelling "sovereign citizen" as the asp breaks the window. I'm like, that's it. There it is.
Yeah.
You deserve that.
So did you like meet any reserve police officers?
Oh yeah, no.
Is there an age?
No. Well, I think you still got to meet the minimum requirements of. I think it's 21 to be a deputy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I rode along with a few.
Do they seem crazy?
No. Like
I
I
just
said,
don't understand why they would do this for free.
Is that
They-
the next path for you? Do you think?
No, I could never do what they do. I went out with them. I mean, I've gone out with other deputies who work full time, and I immediately understand that this is not a career for me. It's just not my personality. Like even the reserve ones, I went out with them. They were in a Popka. I rode along with these two guys. One's the dean at the Winter Park High School. The other one's actually a manager at a movie theater.
Nice.
Really?
Yeah. But once again, they've gone through all the training. They do the academy, which is 4 or 5
Stink like
months.
popcorn, Bill. I'm sorry. I had to make it before I left.
So you, the principal of the high school, and
Billy Popcorn.
and the manager of the Winter Park Regal Cinema.
Actually, the Hunters Creek Regal
okay.
Cinema.
Let me change my.
all were out fighting crime together.
Yeah.
I gotta change my shoes. I stepped in some Mike and Ike's earlier. Stuck to the bottom. I don't think I can chase criminals.
I
this
had my
fast.
video camera with me,
And-
and they were.
My God, you guys are like the older cast of Stranger Things. You just need bikes.
And when you were driving around, did the Regal guy look and like Steven Seagal's? I don't forgot what his reality show was called, but
Oh yeah.
did he?
Steven Seagal, cop.
Yeah, did he look and then all of a sudden Spidey sense and it like turned infrared and then he's like something suspicious because that's how they do with the old Seagal.
no.
No, okay. Did they do it? They stop
we
crime?
did go on a call, yeah. So
We got an irate patron at the movie theater. I'll handle this one, guys.
No, what happened was we got a call and it was a domestic situation in the It was at 9:00 in the morning on a Sunday. And
That's
so
about right.
We
Fancy.
show up. We show up, and it was a boyfriend girlfriend, and the girlfriend called the police on the boyfriend because there was somebody punched a hole in the wall,
Oh, okay.
and she said, "Well, you're the
Somebody.
only one that could do it." So I want you out of the house, and so our deputies had to go and like separate them,
no.
and there was
God.
kids
You're
there.
wasting time.
Oh well, no, but when you're called, you gotta go.
Yeah.
And so the kid,
Somebody's got to leave.
there was
Coulda
like
escalated,
there was
yeah.
like little kids there, sort of running around, and so they had to wait there because they had to separate them, and they said, "Okay, the boyfriend, you gotta leave. Like she wants you to leave. Just
Yeah.
leave for a little bit, you guys."
That's the rule.
But he didn't do anything illegal because they were both living in that house. So it'd be like if Dan punched a hole in the wall.
I have.
It's
I'm about to do it right now.
But it's your house, so it's your house and it's your property.
Yeah.
So there's nothing illegal that was done. So unless he physically did something to her, then there's nothing they could do.
But it doesn't matter. Somebody's got to leave, right? Because she said kind of.
I mean, they just
it's a de-escalation thing. Yeah.
But like, going up to that, they don't know what to expect, and so I'm trying to put. I stayed back and I was shooting video.
I think I would have too, man.
But I put myself in that situation. Like, what would I have done? Just like going into that, like, okay, sir, you need to go here, and like, I don't know if I could do it, and so I just don't have that personality.
You're trained to know what to do and what to say. So but you're too nice.
I can't separate you guys, but I can tell either of you a story.
I am the storyteller, the great storyteller.
Everyone, calm down if you'll just listen to me. Once upon a
but then
everybody say crisscross applesauce.
Story
time.
I like how they got the call. They're like, someone punched a hole in the wall. Okay, send the movie cop in the nerd.
I wonder how serious their calls get.
I don't know the answer to that, but there's other people on duty as well, so it's not just like they're the only ones out there.
Are you riding around in the civilian car?
Oh, no. We were in a patrol car.
Oh, right. They get a patrol car?
Hold on. I got to give you guys cooler names.
Full uniform?
Yes.
Okay.
So you, because you tell stories, you're Tails.
In my mind,
and
he was
the
still...
other guy is Flicks, the movie guy.
In my mind, he's still dressed in the regal.
No. I saw my flashlight.
It's literally everything except you don't get paid.
No, okay. Well, all right,
so if they were to come here,
Clear Channel figured out how to do business.
iHeartMedia's police force.
You want to be a volunteer DJ?
We're gonna hire you for no money, then lay you off. I've got to make cuts. Sorry, Flicks, you're out. Tails, you're good.
Wait a minute. I don't even get paid. Like, I don't know how this works.
Sorry, we got
if they came here, you wouldn't know. They look like everybody else.
Okay.
Yeah. You would have no idea.
I don't know. I think I could spot
the same hold on.
It's got to have like what? Like if it's a star, like your badge has already got 6, right?
Mine has 6,
instead of 5.
5 means you're sworn.
Yeah.
Okay. So but they're sworn, right?
Yes. There's
got to be something.
Tom doesn't believe
There's
this.
no payment. That's what it is.
Well,
There's
hold
no
on.
payment.
If there's a cop and then there's another cop that gets paid, I'm going to trust the one that gets paid a little more, right?
No, you trust the one that does it because they love
he's not
it.
doing it for the money.
Maybe you're
love of the
flawed
game.
But he could be a crazy power complex situation.
Like me.
Yeah.
Well, I'd tase your top off.
Okay.
I don't even know how to do that, but I would
Sue the whole state.
I would try to do it.
Yeah, it's kind of it's kind of like if you get the attorney that does it for the
pro bono attorney.
Yeah, the pro bono.
You've done that before.
Or the guy that's driving the Lamborghini into the rich. I'm going
rich
one every time.
Bailey or Beetle Bailey.
There's a reason why OJ got acquitted, right? Like he got that money. Right?
Yeah.
I just the guys you get the court appointed attorney disheveled. You got an apple.
I'm sorry that my suit doesn't fit.
It's like you're as good as done.
Before we start this case, I need a peppermint sucking candy to really get my mind in order.
I'm like, wait a minute, Regal. Like, how many people have you shot? I need some.
With melted butter or with my gun?
I need a body count here. I didn't know you seen the atrocities.
I should also mention they don't always just do patrol. Like if a parade, when you guys are at the parade and they need assistance, like that can be your hours as well. Or
they give you the parade, they give you the hole in the wall.
Yeah.
Okay. It scared me. I'm like, I don't want them showing up to, do anything serious.
The terrorists have taken over the downtown bank. We need to send in Tails and Flicks. We got this. Where's my butter gun?
We also had it. Did you see the stuff with RoboGage, the little boy who
I love
saved
that,
the day?
That was too cool.
All right.
Who built his costume?
So let me explain.
It was dope.
Do we have time for this?
Yeah.
So
We got plenty of time.
RoboGage was there was a boy who had a Make-A-Wish. It was a Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Okay.
event.
I did see
What
him.
a cute kid.
So
man.
he's 10 years old. He has a heart condition, and so months and months and months ago, he contacted the sheriff's office to say, I want to save the day. And so he wanted to stop a bank robbery, put out a fire, and save somebody from a building. And so we, Orange County Sheriff's Office, worked with the Orange County Fire Rescue, the Orlando Fire Department, and Valencia College to put this together. And it took months and months and months of planning.
They've been working on it for a
there's
long
so many things you got to worry about.
Yeah.
But this all happened February 27th. All day long, he got to do all this stuff, but he was dressed up as a robot. And so
it was dope.
Yeah, so they made a robot costume. It was people that make it for like MegaCon and stuff like that.
Well, they
like
did a
cosplayers.
fantastic job.
And
And
it
his
had-
little face, he's just lit up.
Yeah, he had like lasers and stuff, and so our part of it mostly was the first part, stop a bank robbery. So he was sworn in by the sheriff, and then
That's so cool.
The SWAT team took him over to the bank that set up like
the same rights as Flex. They're swearing at
According
everybody.
to
everybody getting a badge.
Busdeker, we're the only two people that are. I mean, Sam's a cop. I don't know if you know this.
This is
And you're
officer.
about to go down.
That is cool that it did that. Also,
I wanted it to be a real bank robbery.
Yeah,
Does
yeah.
that make me bad?
Well, here's the thing. I'm fine with them stepping it up a notch, and then you get some convicts on death row, whatever.
Yeah.
They're expendable.
Get some really bad people that are monitored.
and then give the kid a real laser.
you gotta hobble their legs so they can't
Go to
run.
town.
And, let him kill them. Totally okay.
Like
with
if the state was gonna do it anyway, like it's just like, hey,
if I'm a convict, I'd be
this is
like,
a bad-
I'd be like, I'll really play it up, man. You
Yeah,
can go
yeah.
ahead and cut my head off with a laser. I deserve it.
Yeah. Then he's like, yeah. The technology's not there though. It's like,
He's like,
oh.
oh God, it's just a rug burn. Damn it.
They're like, we'll take it. Look at Rihanna.
That was not the wish that he asked.
Put me out of my misery, but not in front of the kid. Shut me in the vault and let me suffocate.
It turned out good. We had about 1 million views on Facebook, like for real, from different media outlets covering it and doing live stuff. So we did really well with that. People
That's
all over the
cool.
world saw it.
And that is, and I don't think anybody that even watched that understands, like you said, how extremely difficult it is to pull something like that.
Oh yeah,
off.
we had our motors unit because we got to get him from one place
Yeah.
to the next, and then you got what if something actually
Yeah.
does happen in that time
Correct.
frame,
There's
and what
liability
happened,
aspects of it,
all
yeah.
of it. Yeah. So we had meeting after meeting after meeting, but it went off pretty good.
That's cool. And your weekly day-to-day stuff, John, is it waiting stories, like for stories to kind of come across your desk, or like ideas for how do you come up with like the next idea for the story?
It's a little bit of both. So, obviously we have calendars when things happen in the sheriff's office, so I want to try to cover those things and shoot video there, but sometimes stuff just comes up. I also have a podcast at the sheriff's office. Does not do as well as a mediocre time,
I don't
but
know. I don't know.
That's really bad.
but I get to talk to people, and so like when we're talking, they'll say something. I'll say, "Oh, that's a really good idea for a video or a project." So stuff comes up that way. I actually have a big whiteboard in my office that I just write ideas down. And I try to-
my dream.
So, but when I can get to 'em,
princess.
when I can get to them, I go do those. But then stuff comes up, and then I get requested to do things. So it's a variety. It's just like working in a newsroom.
Do you do a today in history in the Orange County Sheriff's
Not
Department?
really. I mean,
You should do that. You can steal that idea.
It's okay. Some of the anniversary. I mean, we do try to when we have officers who have passed away in the line of duty
sure.
and died,
Yeah.
we try to put those out there, but not like in this day in history though.
Do they
Fine,
ever?
don't do my idea then.
You know what I miss, and I don't know if this exists anymore, but when they seize
The Mexi Melt from
no,
Taco Bell.
when they'll seize
Just get a double-decker taco.
a car
Put that taco next to him.
from some drug dealer, and
Jack had it.
it'll be like a Hellcat or something. They seize Seth's Hellcat or
And then
whatever,
they trick it
and
out.
then they
Yeah.
make it into
Oh.
a patrol car, and then
Yeah.
usually it's a dare car, so
yeah.
they can pull up, and they're like, we'll put. We also have these 215s, so put that in the trunk. We got that from the old evidence locker, so they'll have a super ridiculous, and they'll put like street glow on it.
Well, it's funny because there are only two people that would ever drive a car that like crazy, and it would either be a drug dealer or a person who stops drug dealers. You know what I mean? Like that's it.
So how does that? You didn't even know how that works?
I've seen those photos. There's a county here in Florida that has one that has 20-inch rims. And,
Yeah, it's
and
ridiculous.
spinners,
Yeah.
and it actually says on the car, this car was seized by cops from drug property or something like
Yeah.
that, and they drive it around. Well, this is a little bit different. I just did a podcast on our agricultural crimes unit, which they go out and they search for animal cruelty. So if you have horses or cows that are
my
underfed,
What
they
what a hard and sad job.
Oh
to
yeah,
do. My God.
and domestic and cats and dogs and things
Oh,
like
my
that.
God.
But I guess there was a story where there was a horse that somebody reported was underfed. You could see their ribs and all that, and so the sheriff's office got it, and nobody claimed it, and so. Because nobody claimed it, a lot of times they go up for auction.
Yeah, they put street glow on it.
And so it went up for auction, and no, it didn't go up for auction. Our mounted unit saw it and said, well, maybe we can make it into a horse for our unit, and it turns out it's a horse at the mounted unit.
Oh,
now.
that's cool.
So like, we've reused property as well, and turned it into things that we can use.
The only thing I know about the mounted units is when we used to do the Orlando City thing, right behind, it was the horse, right near the Citrus Bowl.
Right. Okay, there was a stage.
I don't know. We talked about this. That's Orlando PD.
That's theirs. But that's Orlando PD's horse unit. And they were like, Tom and Dan are going to be hosting on this Heineken stage. So then they were like, you guys can stand behind the stage. We'll bring you unlimited beer. It's VIP. So they put us back there. It's basically where they dump all the horse
manure. Yeah. Because there's a chain link fence.
And we'd stand back there with a cooler of warm Heineken. I would never wanted to kill myself more.
Drinking warm Heineken, and there's doo-doo ever flies.
Yeah. And they're like, get on the stage and make an announcement for this dad band. Ladies and gentlemen, full circle.
Stakes in here. Doo-doo crazy.
We have nice stables over off the 417. So.
Will you take us out there one day?
Sure.
Can we all go horse riding? Horseback riding?
I don't know about that.
On that.
You could ride a horse legally on the streets of Orlando. Still in
That's how I get here. It's a pony.
You know that from a radio bit running down Lee Road. Backing up traffic. The cops taking pictures.
To the dollhouse, nag. Yeah.
Maybe you can patrol on a horse when you're doing your Baldwin Park patrol.
Hey, if I was sworn in as Baldwin Park Patrol, could I have a horse?
You're in the OPD jurisdiction here in Orlando Police, so you got to talk to them.
I don't feel like they're maybe as nice as you are.
Oh, what's my jurisdiction?
You don't want
to it's the Wild West out there.
Oh, man.
It is every man for himself out there.
Vigilante justice. I look out my window. I'm like, oh, they're here.
Councilman Sheriff is a one-eyed possum.
All right, John, we appreciate you coming in. If people want to watch your Orlando 60 videos or any other
or your podcast, what's your podcast?
It's called Behind the Star. You can listen to that on. You can get it wherever you get your favorite podcast. Orlando 60. You can go to orlando60.com or on Facebook or follow us at the sheriff's office at all the places we are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, our website as well.
There you go.
Awesome.
We'll take a quick break. Come back with more corporate time right after this.
Welcome to Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Our producer Samantha's here wearing the latest and greatest Tom and Dan hoodie that you can purchase at tomandan.com.
Yes, and if you're a BDM and you're listening to this, we have postponed our BDM only party for Saturday.
Yep.
All the information right now, which is not much, but just the fact that we postponed it, is on the BDM page.
Yeah, it's on Facebook. You should have been sent an email regarding the postpone. Yeah. And it was a tough decision to make, but hey, man, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, and we will let you guys know the new date as soon as we get all that together.
Yep.
So
working on it now.
And you'll BDMs get a direct email.
Yep,
so,
you'll know first.
Yep. And speaking of that, one of our sponsors to that party and a brand new sponsor of ours is in studio to talk a little bit about their products, their store locations. Mm-hmm. But we got a new dispensary partner, Trulieve, and in studio right now, Alex and Alan. How you guys doing?
Great.
I like that your name. That's good. That's good alliteration. Alex and Alan. I like that.
So
the songwriters, Alex and Alan.
So just to let our listeners know, there's 3 Central Florida locations of Trulieve. You got North OBT, South OBT, and East Colonial.
Correct. Yep.
But people can go on Trulieve.com and find all locations throughout Florida.
Yep. Absolutely. Easy breezy website.
And how many locations are in Florida now?
46, I believe.
46.
Yeah, we just opened the 46th store.
Cool. So lots.
That's a lot of stores.
Anywhere, if you in Florida you live, I'm sure there's a Trulieve near you. And
we also have a statewide delivery as well. So,
perfect.
Yeah.
And
7 days a week.
And that system is, you call up, you talk to Trulieve, the headquarters, I guess, and they'll...
you can do that. It is much easier to go online to place your order.
Okay.
You can call the call center and request products, and they can look into it and do that for you. We do
quest, if you will, that you go online, because it's an easier experience. It's easier for you to see what's available. It's easier if you choose your location and you sign in your profile. You should have active inventory there. It should show you exactly what's available at that location. If you choose something that's not available, it'll tell you where it is available.
And yeah, that's what I did, and you are absolutely correct. It couldn't be an easier website to navigate, and I do like the fact that I'm not trying to purchase something that is unavailable, because it redirected me to a different store, and I was just like, don't have enough time to go out there today, so I'll just find something else, which was really nice. It's nice that you guys do that.
When you have customers that come to you guys and ask you what's the easiest way to get your medical license, I know everybody here at T&D Media has theirs. Still trying to get Tony Palmiotti involved. He needs to get one. It's we tell people it's easy to do nowadays, and very easy to find a physician. And what do you guys tell your customers?
Well, when we have people come in and inquiring about how to get their card and get into the program, we do direct them to our website. We actually have a handy feature on our website called our Find a Doctor page. It's under our For Patients tab, and you can actually view the entire list of physicians that request to be on our website, either by a full list, or you can type in your county and view it by map, and it'll zoom in and show you, on a map where there's recommending physicians in your area, and you can call and get pricing, ask questions, and all that sorts of stuff.
Gotcha. Very easy process nowadays, way more streamlined. So I'm not sure what you guys have seen as far as turnaround time, but I've heard our listeners.
It's rapid fire now, but back in my day, when you had to send a physical check-in, oh my God! What was that? Almost 2.5 years now, I want to say ago. It doesn't seem, but I had to.
It was the beginning.
Nothing was online.
Nope.
I had to handwrite like a letter to them. I had to chisel it on stone.
Stuff it in the bird pouch.
And like a passport photo,
and
too.
No exaggeration. You guys don't know how that sounds so old. You guys don't know how good you have it now. Because it took me didn't it take me like 6 months?
Yeah, it was like 6 to 8 months.
I remember you talking about
it. Took forever. And then I kept calling. They'd be like, nah, hadn't gotten to you yet. We're not there yet. We're not there yet.
Because it was so new, and Daniel's an early adopter.
I am an early. It's my fault because I've already purchased an iPhone 13. I already have it. It's already at my house.
And nowadays, a lot more streamlined.
Way easier.
And I've heard literally a couple weeks or less turnaround time. So let's talk about products at Trulieve, because I feel like everybody is, guys has different tastes. It's all subjective what you like and what works best for you. I only eat all my THC products.
He's a little bit eating THC. I'm a little bit vaping THC.
Yeah. And some people, it's weird. They're like, you never, I never really purchased.
I don't like to light the fuse and wait for it, brother. I like to go, just take me to the moon now.
Yeah, straight. Because when you inhale it into your lungs,
kapow.
It's pretty instant.
It's like a breakthrough medicine. It takes effect very quickly, but it's going to wear off a lot faster, too, though.
Yes,
for me, I got to do laundry. Pfft, there we go.
Yeah. I didn't know it's there.
I like to take it and be like, nothing yet. And they're like, I think it's coming. It's coming.
And they're like,
yeah. And then
I'm like,
that'll never stop. Help! But it's just a preference, and I'm sure you guys talk to a lot of people that
I think that's what sets us apart, really, as far as Trulieve, because there are so many options. There's a lot of people that, at the end of the day, it's a medicine, and there's a lot of people that, we're all trying to break a stigma, that come to us because they have problems. They've literally tried everything they could possibly try to no avail, and they need something new, but they don't know where to start, And Trulieve, we're big on your experience when you come to us. We have consultants that are highly trained. You could come in and know everything you need to know. You could come in and be the guy that's like, I know exactly what I want. We can handle that. Or you can come in and tell us it's my first time. I literally don't know anything about anything, and we will take care of you.
Yeah. And I'm sure you guys deal with a lot of people that, may have smoked marijuana back in the 80s, and then they freaked out, and then then they're like, never touch it again, and and then you were like, well, hold on here. You had one experience that freaked you out when you were like 22 in college. You're in your 50s
and
now.
God knows what type of product you inhaled. Like, who
or
knows?
Or they ate some brownies
anything
that their friend gave them, and they ate 100 milligrams, and they had an anxiety attack, and then they're freaked out about it. And it was like, no, that's
not what it is.
This is exactly why Trulieve would be the proper dose.
That's why you got to fight the stigma.
Yeah, the proper strength, all the stuff that you need to work out to find out what's best for you.
I tend to I don't know how to speak for Alex, but I'm waiting on that argument, to be honest with you. Like, you hear about that, and you anticipate somebody coming to you and being that way, but to be completely honest with you, it really doesn't happen, man.
Not really. People nowadays it happens fast. Like people
are becoming regular with it faster than they're not. I'll give you a perfect example. It's like my mom with like pain medication. She can't take it because she's got a heart condition. There's very, very little that she can take, but it was funny how when I first was getting my medical marijuana recommendation, I mean, she was kind of like, I don't know about that. But now with friends of hers that use it for pain management or use it for inflammation or, she's like 100,000,000% on board. Because anything is better than opiates.
All the dangers of opiates and the damage it does.
Yeah, I think the CBD helps with that a lot too.
100%. In fact, she's using CBD oil now.
Absolutely.
She has like some issues, and she's been using it and absolutely adores it. I mean, like can't live without it now. So it's
it kind of helps get their foot in the door, and then if that doesn't work, then a lot of times they're a little bit less hesitant to kind of graduate into that THC realm.
Gotcha.
So I mean, I do see it a lot. Probably not so much in Orlando, but maybe in some more rural areas where that whole reefer madness is still going pretty strong, and maybe they didn't even have the experience themselves, but a friend of a friend heard that they ate some one time and had that bad experience, and that's still what they're holding on to. So it's still pretty prevalent.
Like the likelihood of that might be less than the actual myth being tossed around multiplies it. I mean, we might be dealing with that in other ways right now, but I'm just saying, as far as we're concerned here, things can spiral very quickly. You never experienced it, you never had that issue, but of course somebody told you the tale that made you scared.
It's super scary now.
Yeah.
So speaking of products, and you talk about CBD products, and then gradually,
dude, True Stick. That's what's at.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that, because you people can start pure CBD,
right, which is anti-psychoactive, right? So like not only is it not going to make you feel euphoric, but once you start to incorporate THC, it's actually kind of like a buffer. So the more CBD you have, the less euphoria you're going to feel and experience from any THC that you consume.
For instance, I'll give you a perfect example of what you might be able to use. Like I said, my mom uses CBD oil. I didn't say what for. One of her medications is giving her a rash. She uses a CBD oil to counteract that, take the rash away. It's awesome. And she doesn't have to ingest anything else that would maybe interact with, like, I think she's up to like 8 or 9 different medications she takes. She has to be really careful. Effects, but with the CBD, she can take it, get rid of the rash, and there's no interaction. Yeah. It's awesome.
Also with another thing that people... And I didn't understand until I got my license and started using products and really saw the difference, because you hear about it, and I think people are skeptical of the truth of like a sativa and indica and how different they are and how different they react with you and the different feelings you get. I think in the past, because of what pre-medical, it's like you're getting illegal THC. You have no idea it's from some dude, and like he says it's this, and then that's what you know of.
Who knows what it is?
Who knows? That guy probably doesn't know if it's actually sativa or indica. So, and it is a different thing. And I know some people that only like indica 100%, and that's all
sativa.
They do. Yeah. And then I'm a sativa guy. But I'll use indica when I go to sleep.
It's kind of like our personalities, like when I want to go to bed and sleep all the way through without waking up at 3 a.m. and have my mind go crazy, a little indica, and it eases me into my pillows. And
what's interesting about that, though, I do see that sometimes when certain patients are new and they don't have any cannabis experience and they're really sensitive to the THC, sometimes it takes a bit to even get to experience those strain-specific effects, because the THC is so overwhelming, it kind of just all feels the same.
Right. Yeah. You're right. You do hit like almost a threshold point where it's like it wouldn't even matter what it is. It's like I'm.
Yeah, but if you're too new, that's just one little dose can get you there sometimes.
Yeah, that's why I try to tell people too to listen to what
slow and low.
Like your person at Trulieve, when they're instructing you, you have to listen to what they're and start slow.
Yeah. Because listen to the professionals, and that's why you go to the store and you talk to them, because all Trulieve employees are going to tell you exactly, what you need to know. And here's a piece of advice. If you don't feel anything, don't double the dose after and be like, I'm doubling. That's anxiety tech.
Especially if it's like an oral or sublingual, since those take longer to kick in. So, you got to give it time, before you try to double up.
I tell people, give it 2 hours. And be conservative. Give it the whole day, actually, and then start again the next day if you're testing what your own body, because there's some people that are real tolerant to it and need a lot more. A butler can take enough to tranquilize an elephant because of his use.
They can indeed.
And I'm still sensitive to it. And I think certain people's systems are more sensitive than others too.
I'm the budget guy. Like I can make it last for years.
5-10 milligrams, I'll feel it.
It does not take much at all to ease me to sleep and keep me asleep, which is great, And there are specific strands for anxiety or maybe digestive issues, which I suffer from both. They're connected, and some of even the strands are connected through like anti-anxiety plus digestive benefits.
Absolutely.
So I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we just have to keep in mind for patients, since like everyone's different, everyone can react slightly different. So although generally speaking, 9-pound hammer makes you feel sleepy, given the name, sometimes it makes people stay awake all night. So we do see that there's always that chance that people have to keep in mind. But generally speaking, that's kind of the best roadmap to take, is kind of go by those strain effects.
So let's talk about the products that you guys offer, and kind of what you guys refer to different people that are having different problems. And you talked about 9-pound hammer. That may be something for someone who's having trouble sleeping or wants to go to sleep. There's plenty of people that take plenty of different narcotics to sleep. And to me, this is the healthiest.
Probably not good to be loading up on the ZQL every night. I just don't think that's meant to be done.
I know people that take literally NyQuil, not even sick, just to get the
I do too.
just to go to sleep. And it's like, man,
the ZQL's not strong enough.
Yeah. So what are some other products that you guys would
as far as strains or products? I mean, there's so many different
it's
options.
going to vary
really.
based on the patient, their conditions, their experience. I mean,
capsules, for example. I know you guys are big on the edibles. We had the 10 and 50 milligram. I call them 50 mils. So you can do your standard, run of the mill 10 milligram, like sativa daytime if you need it to medicate during the day. But if you're trying to go to sleep, you can get you a 50 milligram indica. That would be something.
Be careful with the 50s. Just if you start off, then I think that's more for more of a seasoned veteran.
Right. Even the capsules in general, 10 milligrams, a lot of times.
That's just fine for me. I might have made that mistake. After waiting 8 months, I eagerly skipped into Trulieve and bought myself 50 milligram pills. I call them Big Reds.
Some patients will actually get RSO and they'll make their own pills. I know we don't. I mean, it's up to them how they consume the RSO.
Sure,
gotcha.
But we have numerous types of concentrates. We have crumble, we have shatter, we have rosin, we have live rosin from Blue River in-house. Multiple types of that, which is an excellent product. Solventless. We have topical. We have tinctures. We have flavored tinctures now too, which are something you can use if you like for cooking. We have rosemary, truffle, garlic, lemon.
What? Okay.
Yeah. See, those are great if you don't want to say use some concentrate to make a whole batch of medicated food, but maybe you just want to make some cookies and put a few drops of the lemon oil on one cookie to medicate one cookie, or put some garlic oil in your spaghetti to just medicate your bowl and not.
What? Sweet spaghetti.
Yeah, man. I'm about to make me some chicken wings. Take me to the moon.
Ooh, garlic.
Moon wings.
I love
hot garlic.
Yeah. I mean, I just do.
Hey, guess who's making wings next week? Chef
Party.
Danny Diddy.
Well, since we're on the sublinguals, have you guys heard of the new True powder that we came out with?
Yeah,
Samantha has that.
Yeah.
You like it?
I like it. It is a touch and go. You kind of have to ease into it, because the time I took it, I did 3 scoops. Little too much for me.
Well,
2 scoops is just where I need to be.
Did you
even Raisin Bran? They only put 2 scoops of raisins in it.
I sipped on coffee with it.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. See, if you want it to take effect, fully through the sublingual route, we do recommend that you mix it in enough water that you can fit in your mouth at one time, swish it for about 60 seconds, then swallow it back. But it's going to hit you a lot stronger and a lot quicker that way.
Noted.
Yeah, so for like new patients, 1 scoop is 5 milligrams, right? So not too high of a dose for new patients. And if they mix it in their drink and drink it down very slowly, then it's going to ease in there
Gradual,
a lot. Right, a lot more. So that's a really great product for new patients, and there's no terpenes in it, so you're not really going to get any strain specificity out of it either. You get to experience just general THC effects. So I think it's a really great option for new patients.
That's interesting.
And that product's called what now?
True Powder.
True Powder. And available at all Trulieve locations.
Absolutely.
So what about the people that like to vape or
that's
smoke?
That's what I like. I like the True Pods.
Yeah.
Those are nice. And you explain to our listeners a little bit about those guys.
You want to the True Pods themselves are the pre-filled cartridges that come with our cannabis distillate. That it's a high concentrated THC distillate that we put in there. The cartridges, they come in different strains, which can be available different times of the year, whatever's in stock at that time. You can it's easy to use. What it boils down to, it's very similar to like what you would think of as like almost like a little small little e-stick.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a Juul.
Yeah, like
a little bit bigger,
similar to a Juul. So it's very easy to keep on you. It's very easy to charge, very easy to use.
Yeah, it's all magnetic, super slick, super fancy,
very nifty.
Apple Store packaging.
Right,
It's
exactly.
nice. I mean, if you're into that kind of thing, it's definitely. I mean, Butler likes it. I like it.
And
It's
if you
nice.
like the effects of the concentrates, but you don't like actually have to deal with the concentrates themselves as far as handling and using other devices, it makes it a lot easier for you to just pretty much plug and play.
Yeah, and
Gotcha.
We do have a unique option in the True Pod that goes with the True Stick too. We do have our Delta 8 product in a vape pod, which if you've never heard of the Delta 8 THC, it's kind of like a tweener between CBD and THC. They say it's about half as euphoric. I think it's a little bit less, but everyone's going to be different. And it does have some properties, that mimic CBD, some that mimic THC, but again, a lot less euphoric. So we have it at a 1-to-1 with just CBD, which is going to be a lot milder than a traditional 1-to-1. And then we also have it 1-to-1-to-1 with Delta 9 THC, which is the one that causes the euphoria, Delta 8 THC, and then CBD, which is still going to be a little bit milder than a regular 1-to-1. So both great options for new patients too.
And I have that as well. And it's great.
I know plenty of people.
I find it to be like next to no euphoria, but that's just me.
Yeah.
So for me, it's more of like a CBD type usage, which is great.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, people are now realizing it's already out there. It's like for a while we had to tell people like you don't have to even want to get euphoric or get high.
Right.
You could use it for the CBD, for the the anti-inflammatory. There's so many good benefits from using just pure CBD, and I know plenty of people that got their cards just for that, for pain relief, because they want anti-inflammatory and not want to take Advil every day. Like there's so many different benefits, and not interested in getting high at all.
Yeah,
and you can still microdose with the THC too, and not feel any euphoric effects from it, but still get benefits from it. I mean, all the science shows that THC is an activator for CBD and vice versa. So you need certain amounts of each to fully activate each cannabinoid. So it's great to not necessarily shy away from it, but just again, ease yourself into the dose that is right for you.
Yep, absolutely. Awesome. Well, again, Trulieve.com. Find out all the locations there. There's a ton of them in Florida, 3 in Central Florida, North OBT, South OBT, East Colonial.
More coming soon.
Yep.
Stay tuned.
Yep.
And
super easy to order there if you want. That's what I do. It's just easy, and I believe everything's saved. Like, because I jumped in there and it had, because I'd already purchased once, and it had, I was ready to go. It was like one click, boom, I'm in, ready to go. So
it's
super easy.
And one thing that definitely everyone needs to know about Trulieve is that we have the best return policy in what I think could be the nation, because you can't take product back in Colorado, California that I've seen. And I mean, if anything doesn't work, if it doesn't give you the desired effects, you don't like the taste of it, you can always bring it back and swap it out for something else free of charge.
And
that's awesome.
I know that firsthand because Butler purchased something and he didn't like the taste of it. No questions asked.
Yeah.
And that doesn't put the financial burden on the patients to find out what's going to work and what doesn't, because it's kind of expensive to get into the program, and it's even more scary if your first order doesn't work. So then what are you going to do? Spend another few $100s? But if we take it back, you don't got to worry about it.
Oh, great. That's awesome too, because if someone does buy something and they're like, "Well, I don't like the way that made me feel, but now I'm stuck with this," then they don't have to be stuck with
Exactly.
it.
They don't have to pay another $50, $100, for another product that hopefully will work, but maybe it won't again. Right? We'll just take it off their hands and give them something new.
Awesome. Alex, Alan, thanks so much for
thanks
coming
for
in.
the time,
guys.
guys.
Thanks for having us.
It'll be fun seeing you again. We'll do this again soon.
Yeah, 100%.
Definitely. Maybe after edibles get launched.
Yeah. Yes, I heard that. Yeah.
Well, let's hit that real quick before we get out of here, because that's coming soon, right?
So what does that mean?
Okay, so there's kind of been a little bit of buzz around it, but we're still waiting for packaging. I guess restrictions, guidelines, and things like that. So we still don't have the green light yet. So there's been some news and info released, but we're still not quite there yet. But hopefully it's coming soon.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
and
sounds
those
great.
edibles meaning that they're actually candy infused.
Correct. So I know for a fact that we're going to have, like gummies and cookies and, things like that. I'm sure there'll be a lot of sugar-free options and things like that, so you don't have to ingest a bunch of, garbage just to get your medicine.
Gotcha.
So.
Yeah. Well, we'll have you guys on again.
Yeah.
And we'll be talking to Trulieve
for sure.
each month about new products.
Maybe we can pick a
things.
featured product too.
Yeah. New laws. Things are changing all the time. Things are new all the time. So
I think the thing that's most interesting to me when you were talking about is the Delta stuff. Because like that to me, I don't fully understand how it can. It feels great, but there's zero euphoria for me.
Yeah.
Well, and the THCA powder that we just came out with is kind of similar, but it's a little bit closer to the THCA. But you are able to vape it, and still get some actual THC vapor in there, and it is a lot different, when you do, just small little microdoses, and you can tell a big difference. There's a lot of those unique products that are pretty cutting edge in the entire, country right now that we're coming out with. It's pretty exciting.
Awesome. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with more Corporate Time.
Welcome back to a Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
I forgot the name of the show.
Yeah, that's
I'm
fine.
welcome back to.
What is this now?
I got nothing. Tom, Dan, Samantha's here. Let's jump into some emails. I love emails. Do I have to do the song again?
You can do a new one.
Tom usually
You can
does
have a
it.
new one every time.
Emails.
Gonna read them.
Gonorrhea. Emails with gonorrhea.
Yeah. Spreading all the viruses.
Who named that disease?
I don't know.
The people that name diseases
Gonorrhea.
are bad.
Yeah.
You don't need to name it. Gonorrhea is one of the only diseases that when you say gonorrhea, I'm like, oh, I know what that looks like. Right?
Yeah.
I can visualize. Oh, I do.
Yeah, because there's diarrhea and
Gonorrhea.
Is there anything that
and
ends with Rhea that's good?
Well, at first I thought a margarita.
Well, that's Rita, not Rhea.
Yeah. The Rhea.
How about a diarrhea?
Oh, that's better.
Yeah.
This is a delicious diet margarita.
Salt the rim. A diet Rhea.
chocolate margarita.
A chocolate margarita is a diarrhea. Rita.
Okay.
This is entitled Realman Dads.
Quesadilla?
A while ago on A Gentleman's Guide to Manliness, you talked about real men dads being fearless, which reminds me of a story of my dad. He loves having different types of taxidermy around his house, so when he comes across...
You could have just stopped right there. That's pretty funny.
When he comes across weird animals, either alive or dead, sometimes he wants to add it to his collection. He once saw a really large rattlesnake and pulled over his truck and ran across the street with a shovel to kill it. Well, he tried to slap it with the shovel to knock it out and ended up breaking the shovel into 2 pieces. He then tried to fight a 3-foot rattlesnake with a 3-foot shovel handle. My dad's girlfriend is terrified of snakes, so she just keeps screaming, cue I can't take this anymore voice.
I can't take this anymore.
It's going to kill you. Leave it alone, Kenny. Well, a few knocks on the head, and he ended up knocking it out and putting it in a bucket. When he got home, he threw the snake into his outside freezer.
Why did you knock it out. We're trying to knock out like a Mr. T about to go on a plane.
no plane, Hannibal.
Well, because he wants to keep it intact, right? If he's going to taxidermy it.
He wasn't putting that together.
Oh, okay.
You don't want to chop its head off or anything.
No, you want to keep it intact.
Okay.
You want to knock it out.
Well, can't you?
And then you want to mount it on
kill it?
No, then you're tearing up
You're
the
messing,
pelt.
Yeah, you're messing it
You
up.
want to knock it out like I ain't getting on no plane, Hannibal. You want
And
to
you
knock it out
and then freeze it to kill it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It says, as a note, I think he has a lock, bear prevention, and he wanted it for it to die from being frozen. Then he took it to a friend to be mounted. I don't think his girlfriend went into that freezer for the next year.
Now,
wouldn't that just slow it down, right?
Okay, let me ask you.
Cold-blooded, right?
I thought you could there was an old myth back in the day, and you might have to fact check this, Sam, but there's an old myth back in the day that on Crocodile Hunter, and I will not besmirch the name of the dead, but they said that before he would handle certain like venomous snakes, that they would put him in the freezer and chill him out.
To make him
docile, and then hand him so that way he can actually play with it, and then he would have like a window of 10 minutes to like move the snake around without it being sting crazy and biting his hands off.
Okay, well,
true or not true?
I don't know if that's true or not,
I
but
don't see it anywhere.
if he did do that, I mean, fine. He's trying to teach the world about these animals.
I don't think he would, though.
And it doesn't sound like an Irwin move, right?
No, doesn't at all.
But I don't blame him if he did do that,
No.
because he's like, I don't want this animal biting me on the show, and then people are like, oh, look, all snakes are killing machines, because that puts a bad name. Like same thing like what Jaws did to the shark world. Like it showed everybody to be afraid of sharks, and then people were fine with killing them and like, oh, hunt sharks, they're human killers. And it caused a big problem, obviously, because sharks aren't human killers, and is a misconception.
Freeze tolerance is where the animal prepares its body so that some of its body's water can freeze, but it still survives. So if given the chance to prepare and knowing through, I guess, instinct about seasonal changes, technically, this snake could survive freezing because it's 36.2% water, which means that it can remain frozen with preparation for 48 hours without any injury.
Really? About 48 hours? Mm-hmm. Okay, so it can survive a freeze.
So you put it in there for 45 hours.
Oh, then you try to mount it, it goes there.
It goes, and then like you're putting you're gluing its cowboy hat on. And I was like,
bite crazy.
I'm about to, because the hot glue,
it woke it up.
Here's a fun fact. If you want to freeze a steak for 45 hours and then hot glue it to a piece of wood, you only have, I want to say, a solid 20 minutes to go before this thing starts thawing crazy. You know, at least that's based on what I do with turkey meat. So if you don't put the hot glue on its head. Put the hot glue on its hat.
Okay.
Blow on it a little bit to cool it off. It's still tacky. Then smush it on its head and then jump back real fast. In case it starts stinging. And have a sparkler lit. You're going to whack it.
So let me ask you about taxidermy.
Because I know a lot about that.
To me, I've always thought that the whole taxidermy thing was about showing...
Who named that, by the way?
I
have a war on naming things today. Because taxidermy, really?
Yeah, it doesn't sound anything like what you're doing to the animal.
Taxidermy sounds like, I don't know, it's like what, if I went to get my taxes done, if my accountant had on clown makeup, I'd be like, you're a taxidermy. Or something. I don't know what it's not stuffing animals.
It's Greek, and it stands for, taxis means arrangement, and derma is skin.
Oh,
so the arrangement of
skin arrangement.
Skin arrangement, yes.
But so
yes, that's stupid. We're not Greek.
I'd rather get edible arrangement.
You can say that if your last name is Papadopoulos or Mikos. But look, we're fine. We just say you're stuffing the animal.
So follow me and tell me if you guys agree. So I thought that you only taxidermied an animal to show its impressiveness.
No.
For instance,
novelty.
Like if you catch a big, let's say,
sailfish.
mahi, sailfish or whatever, that you're like, look how big the sailfish is. I'm going to replicate its exact specifications and mount it on my wall as a trophy because it's impressive. Not that it just, like, for this rattlesnake, you just saw a rattlesnake.
It's very rednecky.
It wasn't the biggest, though.
But having a rattlesnake that's a dangerous animal, I guess, is kind of cool.
Yeah, having its mouth open with the fangs exposed, sure.
Yeah, making it pose.
But it's great for a cabin.
I mean, I wouldn't want it, but
wouldn't it be?
I could see somebody wanting
I feel like if you owned a Southern-style breakfast cafe, you'd put it up over there.
Or a bar.
Yeah.
Like Jesse Black's.
Good for, perfect for Jesse Black's, the barn.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is the story behind it. So, like, for instance,
Texas Roadhouse.
Well, maybe you mount it on the broken shovel. And then you have the story to tell, right?
Yeah.
I'm way too good at this. Maybe I missed my calling.
This rattlesnake is so badass it broke my shovel.
Yeah, maybe I should be a taxidermist.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like,
you know what? I quit.
Maybe if there was like, hey, this rattlesnake was in my sleeping bag on a hunting trip, and I had to kill it, and there's a story. And it's like
rattlesnake in the sleeping bag.
Well, I'm just saying
that sounds fake. Yeah, I tried to get my wife to wrestle with. Never mind.
It's essentially like, for me, if I had a raccoon taxidermy, and of course I'd make it into a sheriff, just like every good Floridian.
Yeah, they have one at Saltwater Cowboys.
But if I just like,
he has a gun and holster too.
If I just like made a trap near my garbage cans, and then
you can start pumping these things out.
I caught a raccoon, and then I just
you should get the garage cat stuff.
I have a picture of it. You guys want to see it?
Do I?
Show Twitch.
It's
Let's refresh everybody. Garage cat is a cat cat that scratched your mother-in-law. She took it in. It bonded to her garage. It wants to kill her. Now it won't leave, and that's its domain now, and it lives with her forever, right?
And it has a mambo eye.
It has a mambo eye. Now, it's funny because my wife had to go feed it the other day. I let her go in there, and then I'm like, take pictures of it. So she took pictures of it. The eye, I remember, was whiter, but it's jet black. And here,
no.
I present you, Daniel.
Oh, man.
Garage. You can't see how big it is in this picture, but you can see that it is truly.
Oh, my God, dude.
Look,
holy crap.
That is garage.
That looks like the devil eye. That's a devil eye.
No.
It's turning into Satan.
It's got a big, black, mambo, soulless shark eye.
yeah. Got one mambo shark eye. Definitely riddled with
cat's
bugs
named
in
Captain Death. It looks like a villain.
Yeah, it does look like a villain.
Bite you crazy.
What happens when the other one goes black?
No,
Full evil.
Oh, yeah, that's when it takes on its new form of the gargoyle. Starts tearing your house apart like Ghostbusters.
So now, if I taxidermy,
no, everybody in the chat room, poor misunderstood kitty. Hi, kitty. Poor
No.
kitty.
Do you guys want Garage Cat?
hell no.
That thing should
It'll
be
attack you.
It should be taxidermy.
Yeah, I know, because then
With
that's
the
a
black
story.
eye.
With the black eye, or do I
Yeah.
put a cute eyeball in there?
I'm not
No,
joking.
black eye.
It's got to be 25 pounds. I mean, this thing is gigantic. I'll if I have
You got any
another
body
picture-
shots?
Would I stand a chance against it?
No.
Just me and a broom?
Oh no.
It would tear me to what do they call that? They would tatter you. Tear you to ribbons.
It's stupid. But anyway, back to taxidermy. So, okay. Let me ask you this. So, my pop had a couple taxidermy deer, right? Mm-hmm. And
Just the head or the whole body?
just the head.
Yeah.
And had a couple in his garage.
He didn't have the novelty deer ass, did he?
And-
that was popular for a little while. At the flea market.
No. And my sister took them because she didn't feel right, like throwing them out or whatever. And to me, I'm like, well, that's like someone else's trophy,
Right.
So what are you gonna do with like
Stolen valor.
it's
Well, if she wants to remember your papa. I mean, I have my dad's
Okay.
old. When my dad raced Volkswagens,
Uh-huh.
he raced Common Gias. I have all of his old trophies.
yeah, okay. It'd be for,
What are you going to do with a giant deer head, though?
yeah.
Does she have him hanging up at her
what
house?
I would set it on fire because I'm a pyromaniac. But
Yeah, to me, it's like that is to show you your accomplishment of the hunt.
why don't you mount it on the front of her truck or car? Or whatever?
Listen, I told her like you can go full trashy if you want to put that up in your living room.
Yeah, but you could put it up in your living room.
And there you go. It's up to you. But nothing against.
Hang your stockings off the
I mean, it'll look great while the wires from your TV hang down into your cable box.
Yeah. It's not to me, like you're only like a rich, like a billionaire if you have that oak room,
The
with
trophy room,
the
yeah.
trophy room
Yeah.
with all the animal
There's
heads. in
always
it.
a polar bear in the corner, and you're like, I killed that on Everest.
But if you have just one like
Sad
Florida
deer head,
Everglades deer like hanging right above your Toshiba,
Yeah.
then it's like I gotta trash it.
Yeah, I got a deer hanging over my Vizio.
Yeah. It's
Tonight we're gonna watch some Redbox.
But the whole thing is about the hunt. Like, so if someone just gave, okay, so let me ask you.
Somebody's given me taxidermies, but I mean, like our buddy Derek, the
but
tattoo artist.
He's got oddities,
But he
though.
collects like taxidermied animals that look cool.
But they're oddities. That's a more of a thing. I'm just talking about a generic deer. If someone gave it to you and you hung it up, it's almost like hanging up someone else's putting on someone else's trophy on your mantle, right? Because it's not, you didn't do,
Well, where
you
do you
didn't
stand?
kill that thing.
What if I bought like a Super Bowl ring on eBay? Same thing.
Well,
Kinda?
if you tell everybody like, hey, that's more of
How about
like,
a signed game jersey
well, that's
that I frame and hang up?
that's fine because
How about a Shark Week trophy that Tom has hanging up and he never gave it to the guy that won last year?
Yeah, where is that trophy? Did we
It's at
order?
Tom's
it?
house.
Because those kind of things, those are apparent that it's not your high school jersey. For like it is a Atlanta
Atlanta
Falcons jersey.
yeah,
you didn't play, but the taxidermied head.
Now I see what
You have to
Yeah, I see
kill
what you're
that
saying.
animal to have the right to mount it, right?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
There has to be a certain amount of, you know, either you killed it or you were involved into the, like, something, right? There has to be a story. You can't just be a random, like, hey, what's the story behind that deer? Like, I don't know, just got it at a garage sale.
Yeah, I think
that's weird.
But if it belonged to your pop-pop, do you get it?
Okay, then there's things like, oh, my pop-pop killed this bear or this deer.
Yeah.
That's something different.
But I understand what you're saying.
If you can't just be a random,
I agree.
or it's a two-headed goat like Derek has, and it's a story behind it. If no story, then it's a bizarre thing to hang on your wall.
Okay, I agree with that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is. It is a different thing.
Yeah.
Let's do another email.
All right. Hey, Dan and Sam. I did not include Tom in this email because he probably would not read it anyway, but I think he would agree with me. My name is Shane. I'm from Detroit, and I've been a listener in BDM since 2012. I am the owner of an air quality testing company for pharmaceutical compounding clean rooms. Early Weird Job Wednesday guest. I perform testing all over the Midwest and have to drive everywhere, so I have become a podcast listening god. I dabble in a broad spectrum of podcasts ranging from multiple NPR News and Econ to Reid Hoffman Business Cast to Joe Rogan. What I have noticed is the trend of more and more influential people interviewing on different podcasts. I strongly believe that we are in a golden age of audio and mental awakening. Podcasts is the best medium to really hear what people are thinking. I want to thank you guys for doing what you do and being so real with your conversations. Not only does it help people recognize that there are a lot of other people with similar struggles in life, but you guys also talk a lot about just staying in your own lane and focusing on just being a good person. A lot of negative people like to talk about how the world is in such bad shape, but I know that if I can mold my son and daughter into positive individuals from a young age and teach them not to only love their fellow humans but to love themselves, then their generation has a real chance to make a difference in this world. So there's my 2 a.m. rant. Always be the solution. Love you guys. Keep it up.
Boring.
Positivity post.
Well, I do agree with this gentleman, and I've heard people talk about this before where, you know what? Thanks, Mike B. Where we, in entertainment, you know, we had all the big networks or the big radio stations and stuff like that, and for years, you know, they're pumping out content, and they're figuring out how to commercialize it and more efficiently, you know, and it got to the point where, let's say, a late night interview show, right? So we all familiar with the format. You go up there, you do your, you know, just stand up bit.
Then I ask you to the couch.
Yeah, then you. Oh no, I'm talking about like you're the host. You go up and do,
you do your monologue. Then you go. You have a couple of guests.
And so
a band.
Let's say you get a famous person guest, and so you only have, you know, what is a late night show?
About an hour.
And we're filled with commercials and stuff. So you got 15-minute segments, maybe.
Yeah.
And so you've got it down to so efficient and so like unexploratory.
It's so formulated at that point.
So there's a pre-interview with the person. You sit down with Tom Hanks. You're like, hey, you got a story? You're like, I got a story about skiing with my family. Oh, great.
Oh, that's been discussed weeks in advance.
And then that's a tight 8 minutes. So you tell your story. Then we'll play the clip of your new movie. You promote it.
We'll joke.
Yeah. So it's gotten to for years, that's all we got from most celebrity interviews or whatever. Like the Howard Stern, maybe go deeper into it because it's a longer format. But
I mean, he was pretty much the only guy doing it.
Yeah. And then that's more talk radio. But for everything else, then you're not learning anything interesting. You're not finding out who this person is. They're telling this story that was approved by the producer earlier, and then they're giving their BS promotion to the new movie and stuff, and that's it. And then, of course, when unlimited length audio interviews, podcasts started coming out, people are like, wow, you get to sit down and listen to your favorite celebrity or person or, whatever, famous person, literally sit down and have a conversation with someone, long form, not scripted, nothing, it could go wherever, it could tangent, and then people like, oh, wow, this is something new that and I think nowadays, if anybody had their choice between a podcast style interview and like any sort of mainstream media interview,
more in control.
you would 100% choose the podcast because
Sure.
you're going to find out 100 times more information and like in-depth stuff that you
You're
want.
also we give our listeners in the podcast world an element of control. Like we'll give you the message. It's up to us to make it entertaining. So if our commercials aren't entertaining, you can fast forward through it.
Yeah.
It's
on demand.
It's on demand. So, and I think that giving that little bit of it's almost like there's an ownership there.
Yeah.
So I enjoy that aspect of it more. Yeah, I mean, I think, when you give that, then people are more likely to want to be involved.
Of course.
And that's why engagement is up. That's why, it didn't take Joe Rogan very long to sell out the Amway, right?
Yeah.
He sold that out, right?
In like an hour or two.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I mean, if you're going to do the math on what media is working, I mean...
Yeah.
it's not like this guy has been... I haven't seen him roll through Orlando doing stand-up at the Improv anytime soon.
No.
It's pretty interesting, too. Speaking of what's going on currently, I've seen a lot of people... Joe Rogan had this,
Infectious disease expert on there.
Yeah. And I was gonna try to really mutilate epidemiologist.
Wait a minute,
What is
maybe. Yeah, what is happening?
Does he
Can
have
you
a
believe
corona
it? And
and
he
he's
said it, but
smarter?
he was like,
He looks you right in your eyeballs.
yeah, he was like,
But I turned black at the
Oh my God! You've been infected with a mambo. You got the mambo number 5. That's what you get when you get bit by mambo cat. That cat's disgusting, by the way.
And I saw a lot of people like, "Hey, listen to this interview."
That's patient
like,
0 right there, buddy.
And it's funny because people were telling others like, "Hey, listen to this conversation. It's not they're not presenting it in any sort of grandiose way. It's just two guys talking."
Yeah.
And then it shows that people crave that. People want the real conversation and
Sure.
and not just a 15 minutes or 8 minutes, a tight 8
Just
of
a blurb.
a tight 8 of BS. Give them that
Yeah.
just a bunch of nothing. Which we've been trained to listen to.
Let me
for
put
so many
a
years.
tight 8 in your BH.
And I'm sure it'll swing back where it'll get too long and be like, all right, Rogan, let's wrap this up at a 2. You're like, I can't do 3.5.
Kreischer's 9-hour podcast.
Yeah. But everybody's learning.
Yeah.
So
We'll figure it all out. And let's be honest. I mean, tastes, technology, what we like, what we don't like, what we're allowed to do, it'll all change. It'll morph and pivot. That's what happens.
the good thing is that it's unlimited, so you could literally listen to whatever you want. Whenever you want.
Yep.
To whoever you want.
You can do whatever you want.
It's you don't have to be forced to listen to anything because
Except
it's the
this
old-
show. You're forced to listen to this.
Yeah.
You got to listen to this. Let's plug some stuff. We got to get out of here. Thanks to our friends at Trulieve for stopping by. That was fun.
Yep.
Talk to those guys.
And again, we postponed the BDM only event, and we'll be sending out a new email hopefully sometime soon when we figure out a new date. But we figured it's safer for everybody just to do that. So you guys will find it out. All right. We'll see you guys next week. Have a good weekend. Stay safe. See ya. Welcome back to Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom. That's Dan.
Oh, I farted.
Samantha.
Oh my God.
Sorry. I thought it would be like, and I was going to be like, that's me. But it didn't work like that. It was like, oh. And I was like, yeah, it's bad.
Oh my God.
It's just,
Are your eyes burning? You're not supposed to
No, he
touch your
doesn't
face.
smell anything yet. He's crazy.
Oh, I smell cancer.
Your lunch smelled like cancer.
Yeah, let's talk about your lunch.
Okay, you guys are bullying me. You think I
No,
got a
because
hot
you got
lunch?
it.
Dude, it was bad.
What? We like a poor kid that got the hot lunch, and we all brought our lunch from home, and we're the cool rich
It's
kids.
sriracha pulled chicken or something.
Yeah, he doesn't even know what it is. It was like sriracha chicken with macaroni and cheese and green beans, and when you heat it up, it smells. I
It's
swear
fine.
to God,
It smells delicious.
it smells like oh God, it's terrible.
I had to open the door. I was gagging.
Oh, you little
It
baby.
smells like a Mumbai clown car.
The air was thick with stench.
Yeah, it smelled like BO. Like it was like
no.
and
It's
there
like
was
beefy
like,
farts and
It
BO.
smelled like beefy farts.
No.
Like big hot ones.
Yeah.
No, you guys are just babies.
No, but even Butler was like, oh,
No.
Butler's like, who beefed? I hate that term
I
for
do
farts, too. My wife says that. He's like, someone beefed. I'm like, don't say that. You're a lady. And then it's just like, I'll say what I said when I was a kid. Who boofied? I was like, well, don't say that. What are you, a
Boofied?
child? Boofy. And even her dad says that. He's like, oh, someone boofy? I was like, God, stop it. You guys are freaking me out. Let's do some voicemail messages. If you want to leave us a voicemail, you can do so by downloading our free app. Just search for it. We're back in the Google Play Store. We had to throw some money at it, but we're back in there. And you can check out the show. Let's try this one.
Hey guys, Jeremy here from South Carolina. I was listening to the recent ACT with Chris Crespo, and you guys were talking about the Big Lebowski spinoff, The Jesus Rolls. And as a long and abiding fan of the Big Lebowski, I would implore you, do not watch that movie. It makes no sense. It is disjointed, and it is a steaming pile. So avoid it at all costs would be my recommendation.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't have any interest in it. And I love The Big Lebowski. It's one of my favorite movies.
It kind of it is at one time. I mean, even Tiffany and I, it's Tiffany's favorite movie, and we shared that. You know, like it was like when we asked, "What's your favorite movie?" Like Big Lebowski. You know, she said it too. But it's one of those things where I feel bad whenever anything like kind of negative is connected to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like I always feel bad when there's like a really good movie and then the sequel's not as good or something connected to it is like
it
less
taints
than.
it a little bit.
Yeah, it just makes it feel a little weird.
Although it's people's. It's got to be somewhat people's own fault for comparing it to The Big Lebowski because obviously it.
And it wasn't the
totally
Coen brothers, right?
No,
They just gave him permission to do it.
Yeah,
correct.
It's based on a different character. It's an entirely different movie. The premise is entirely
same
just
character.
with
Well,
the
John
same character.
Turturro's the one that wrote it, directed.
Right.
Like it's his baby, right?
Yeah.
This new one,
Which I also like
Yeah,
him, but I don't
do
know
like him.
something about it. I'm like, I don't really know if I want to watch a movie about a pedophile.
What do you mean?
He was a pedophile in The Big Lebowski.
Oh yeah.
Although I did hear that, spoiler alert, that they kind of explained that it was a misunderstanding or something.
Oh,
in this
That's
new
what every
movie.
pedophile wants
But I'm
you
like,
to know.
exactly. I'm like, I don't know
Yeah.
that I want to watch this.
That's what every pedophile says. It's a misunderstanding.
Sounds familiar.
Uh-oh.
She looked 18.
They're coming.
Yeah, oh my God. What's happening? Who's that? You there with the hazmat suit on. Stand down. They're coming in. It's like that part in E.T. that's terrifying.
When the astronaut busts in
When
for no
E.T.
reason.
gets ashy because he runs out of cocoa butter. Everybody see that. He's like,
I hate E.T.
so dry. Quick, smear some cocoa butter on him. Oh, feels good on my wrinkles. E.T. is a turd monster, right?
Yeah.
We determined
He
that.
is the disgusting turd frog monster.
He's a
Turd
turd frog.
frog.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a turd frog. You know the
With
movie.
long turd red fingers.
Yeah. Well, one of his turd fingers lights up red,
Aw.
and the doctor always told me that's bad. Look up the movie Ghoulies.
Okay.
I believe it's a little scary green monster coming out of a toilet.
Oh,
Yeah,
I know
it
Ghoulies.
is.
And I
Yeah.
remember as a kid seeing that and being so scared to go number 2
Yeah,
because I was like, the ghoulie gonna get me.
yeah.
I'm gonna bite him off.
You can buy one of these online as a prank. So when someone opens the lid, the little
I
ghoulie
see that
comes
American
out.
Voice
Oh,
on
we
video.
gotta do
Yeah.
that to your sons.
Oh, yeah.
You should. And
They-
video it.
They're so oblivious, though. They're bad with getting pranked.
He
because-
just sit right on the
Yeah.
ghoulie.
Yeah, and just do his business.
Like, "Ah, you pooped a ghoulie, you idiot. $35.
Now I don't think it's dishwasher safe. Let's try this one.
So I called in Weird Job Wednesday. You guys made fun of my voice and called me New York Wet Mouth. It actually hurt my feelings.
I'm glad.
New York wet mouth.
Come on.
Oh man. Okay, hold
come on.
He continues.
But though I listen to the show, you guys do it all the time. You know, and I don't know why, but it did. You know, I guess I kind of thought I was, trying to, give you guys content for the show. But then later, I snapped out of it. I was like, stop being a friggin' pea. It's a comedy show. That's what they do. I do have a wet mouth.
Okay,
but
then it's
I have
fine.
2 requests. Can I be in the Whack Pack? And
not the Whack
then also, can I change my name? Because I'm from Maine. I have a Maine accent. You can't really hear it because like I said, I lived in Florida for like 8 years. But I used to have a real bad one, like Good Will Hunting accent. But I kind of lost it when I lived in Florida.
You
so
gotta
now
get
it's
it
kind
back.
of quasi. But can I be like the Yankee Wet Mouth or something like that?
Yankee
Because I'm
Wet
not
Mouth.
from New York and I love Maine. Anyway, I love the show, guys. Later.
You
Okay.
are Manny
Lobster wet
Manny.
mouth.
Manny wet mouth.
Yeah.
Manny wet mouth.
Yeah, that's it. That's
No, it's got to be worse than that.
Oh,
You
okay.
are now you're Manny racist wet mouth gay Nazi.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You're Manny the wet mouth gay Nazi racist.
the racist gay Nazi.
Perfect.
Yeah, there it is.
There
You
it
made
is.
it worse.
Yeah, see?
You should have asked us.
should've been
Don't
like-
call in and complain
You
about
should
your
have been
nickname.
like, I'm totally cool with New York Wetmouth. And then we would have been like, make it Manny Wetmouth. And then you would have been like, yes. But because you said change it, now we have to make it worse.
Yeah. That's how it goes. I'm sorry.
Yep.
We don't make the rules.
So now you're gay disco Hitler. That's your new name.
yeah, gay disco Hitler.
Yeah, that's your name. I'm sorry, you're stuck with it.
Yeah.
In blackface. You're the worst creature. You're the worst person alive. That's your new name. Worst person alive. What? Is that bad?
No, it's fine.
It's fine.
Let's try this one right here. Because speaking of voices you'll love this guy.
Hello, Tom and Dan, Butler and Sam. This is Jim from Lakeland here. On a very recent ACT, you guys were talking about the Royal Rangers, which is kind of a knockoff of the Scouts. And I was a Royal Ranger in the early 80s. And yeah, it's a more religious version of the Boy Scouts. And the church that I was in was one of those sketchy churches that cropped up around the same time as Jim and Tammy Faye Baker at the time they were, stealing money from everybody. And this church was kind of cut from the same cloth. But the youth program was actually pretty good, and we had nothing untoward ever happened, except we did have when I first joined, the scout leader was one of these guys that he was a tree guy, and he was a super manly man, tough guy throughout the week. But in church, he cried a lot.
A lot of sins.
Loud. He cried a lot.
We had a lot of guys.
Yeah. What's up with the real man crying? You're not a real man.
No.
We had some guys that, like during church, it's almost like the spirit would overcome them. They're feeling the Lord, and they just break into tears. And you can only imagine the things that they're running through their minds. Like, shouldn't have cheated on my wife. I was a bad dad. I was never there.
Yeah, somehow, like, you're unemotional because of some sort of traumatic thing that happened to you, which turns you to a real man, but church brings the emotion out of you, so you start bawling like a baby.
I feel like you would do that. I feel like you're the guy that it piles up, and then you end up like killing someone with your bare hands, but crying the whole time you're doing it. And that someone will be me, I feel like. I feel like it just foreshadowed my own death.
My wires are a little crossed where I
think they're tied.
Instead of crying, I'll laugh.
Yeah. No, that happens to some people.
I'm so sad.
It's only happened a couple times, like brother dying, and that's extreme. And then I'll like
one lone tear.
I won't know how to cry, so it'll come out in the version of laughter, which makes my wife pretty scared.
Yeah.
It should make everybody scared.
Yeah.
She's just like, oh, you're messed
he's
up.
Doing it.
Oh,
I'll make up for it now. Burning the house down. There's the guys. And then you always do that thing where you turn to your wife and you can see that she's concerned, and you know what doesn't make her feel better? When you go, I'm not going to do anything. My wife catches me and
like, what do you mean? I didn't even think you. Why'd you say that? I didn't think you were going to do anything.
Exactly.
Now I do.
Yeah, what do you mean? And then you're like, what do you mean? What do you mean? And then you're like, put the knife down.
You know who cries a lot? Biker preacher.
He'll cry. Yeah. Biker preacher. Yeah.
He somehow, pretty much of a real man, but cry a lot.
We're gonna ask you guys, if you don't mind, before we start this poker run, we're gonna have old Left Turn over here lead us in a blessing.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, we're gathered here today. We lost some brothers.
Yeah.
We lost some people last year that were really important to our toy drive. So sad they're not able to keep the rubber side down, sunny side up. Amen.
I'm beat up more. You know what I'm saying?
What? Because we make fun of everything. Yeah.
I mean, we go through a lot. We're pulling a lot of people. And make fun of literally
okay.
everybody.
You're not gonna get beat up by a biker preacher. He's like, hey, you.
I don't know. Yeah.
You made fun of me crying at the toy drive, and I'm like, yes. I'm gonna beat you up now.
Also, a good rendition of "God Bless America" or an eagle with American flag,
we have to superimpose it,
transparently flying behind you.
I like it when eagles' wings kind of ombre into the stars and stripes.
Oh yeah.
You know, I'm actually pro dyeing the rest of the eagles that we have red, white, and blue.
No, just the tips of the wings.
Yeah, just the tips.
Yeah.
Kind of like a girl, like 2005. You just a little pink on the tips of their hair.
Yeah.
You know, just dip my.
You're holding. Crazy.
God damn it! I'm trying to dip your wings, you stupid eagle.
Break its wings. I can't dip it.
Let's spray paint it then. Put a blindfold on it.
Ow, who killed
So
it?
you can't get the paint in its eyes. It won't know how to fly to its nest.
I think it's a extreme felony.
This is bad. Can't tell anybody about it. Put it in the turkey fryer. Uh-oh. Is it frozen? No. Okay, we're good.
We gotta go.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Worst job we've ever done. Bye, Twitch.
Oh, Twitch is on shit.
Yeah. Oh, shit. These fools will watch anything. Fucking idiots.
All right. See you, Twitch.
Chris is still out. I'm just staring at him.